Howdy. Welcome to the Lone Star State.
Check this out.
Where one can expect a thrill ride in the rolling hills of Austin, Texas.
The future is waiting.
As the season heats up, 5 races in seems like a perfect time to add some twists and turns to the mix.
What you see?
It's said that you don't mess with Texas. Everything's bigger and badder, including this 3.41-mile, 20-turn beauty named COTA.
Ain't nothing like you ever seen before.
This sheriff's on a roll. Can these other bandits slow him down? Or will a deputy with a bigger star step in and steal the show?
What you need? You like what you see?
I reckon it's time for a showdown. Let's get her done and find out.
What you see?
Race day is next.
You like what you see?
Yeah, I'll tell you who's getting her done. That's 3-time winner Austin Hill. Came into this season saying he had something to prove, and he has done just that. But today, you know what? You can throw everything that's happened so far this season out that window, because up to this point, we've only driven in circles. Today, it could get crazy, it could get wild, and it will most definitely get weird in Austin. As we say hello and welcome to race day here on FS1. Beautiful day out there in Austin, Texas. Low 80s for this Xfinity Series race. I'm Shannon Spake. He's America's crew chief Larry McReynolds, and of course the Daytona 500 champ Jamie McMurray. Every single week we ask Larry what he's looking forward to in the upcoming race, and I got to tell you folks at home, there were a ton of things on his list today.
Well, it's hard to believe this is our 6th race of 2023, but this is our first of 8 Xfinity Series races on a road course this year. A couple of major changes for road course racing this year. One, for the first time, we're going to go to the choose rule, and that's going to be huge. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But the other major change, remember, we started stage racing back in 2017. We're still going to have stages, but we're not going to stop racing. They're going to award those stage points, and we're just going to keep digging. That's going to be a huge game changer for strategy from the crew chief.
What could possibly go wrong?
Did you say weird? I think Austin's always weird.
Yeah,
right?
it's like their slogan.
I think it is, right? Yeah,
not just for this race day.
What won't be weird is to see someone like Allmendinger go to victory lane. When I look at today, though, if I'm an Xfinity Series regular, I'm so excited that the Cup guys are in this race. You have 5 Cup guys in the race today, and we just saw Zane Smith be able to outrun Kyle Busch. Those wins are so much more special when you get to outrun a Cup Series regular. So fun for these guys, see who can try to beat one of them today.
You're looking forward to that choose cone,
I'm just liking weird.
as well. So here's a name we've been saying a lot this week, and that's Josh Williams. Williams has become a viral superstar after he parked his car at the start-finish line last Saturday in Atlanta. He turned the car off, got out, walked through the infield grass, throwing up the peace sign. It made for a fun moment for NASCAR fans, but a weekend off for Williams.
Look at this. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Josh Williams. He has parked his number 92 at the start-finish line.
Oh, no.
He's walking to the garage. Look at this. What an exit.
Wave and see you later.
We'll make those hearts a little bit later for Larry and for Jamie. Josh Williams, he is serving his 1-race suspension today. He did release a quote on Twitter. It said that he respects NASCAR, but he stands by all of his decisions that he made in the race, and of course, parking that car where he did. Alex LeBay is going to drive the 92 in place of Josh Williams. What do you make of this whole thing, Jamie?
I feel like every week at some point I ask you if you've ever heard of a saying, and then I say it and I say it wrong, but have you ever heard
You're going to do it again, aren't you?
2 wrongs don't make a right?
That's the correct way to say it.
That is, couldn't be any more true than it is right here. What he got parked for, I don't think was right. And it was a little bit of a circumstantial because of how many cautions we were having in that race. But his car was not that torn up, and I understand why he was frustrated. But he should not have done what he did either. But I don't blame him for being frustrated. I don't think it was the right call on NASCAR's part.
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR, they do have a rule, and here you see the car parked right on the racetrack, and he just walks off and leaves it. But they do have a rule that says if a car leaves pit road before sufficient repairs have been made and extends or causes a caution, that they can either put a time penalty or basically tell the driver, you're done for the day. But and I'm all about black and white. But, you know, I worked in the gray area for about 18 years as a crew chief. But I do think there has to be some gray area. You look at all the atmosphere and the environment there. 40 degrees. They couldn't get bear bond. They couldn't get tape. They couldn't get anything to stick to that car. I think the proper thing to do would be, you know what, bring your car to pit road. Do not leave until it's completely repaired. If you do and something else comes off, then we will park you.
What'd you think when he parked that car?
I was, first off, when he got out, I was like, oh my gosh, don't shoot the birds to the control tower. Because we've seen somebody do it before. And I'm like, what's he going to do? But I liked the way he handled it when he got out of the car. He turns around, he gives like the peace sign to the guys up at the tower. And then as our cameras approached and he does the heart, I just think that this could have went really wrong for Josh Williams. But to me, he's made the most of it.
Yeah, and I'm getting like some news in my ear right now that there may have been a security breach earlier today. Let's take a look at what we see here. What do we got here?
Well, I'm coming to work, and you know what? I'm trying to find a parking spot, and the security guard is screaming at me to park the car. I went, fine, I'm parked. There it is. I'm going to work.
You know,
I am just blown away that Larry did not drive the Bentley today. I can't believe it.
Who painted the start-finish line out there? I think we need to go run across that.
I have a start-finish line everywhere I go.
You
I have one. I have a choose cone in my driveway, actually.
We should go and check out that choose cone, Jamie. All right, time to head trackside and bring in our pit reporter, Josh Sims. What you got for us, Josh?
Well, you know, Shannon, the big thing about this race is everyone's excited for the first of 6 road course races on the schedule. A lot of guys love the break that this gives them from the normal racing and the challenges that road course racing promises for them in this race. Now, talking to the guys, there are some uncertainty on how they're going to handle the strategy with this race because there are stage points up for grabs, but there's no stage breaks. So talking to the guys throughout the garage, they all have differing opinions and strategies on how they're going to handle it, and they say they really won't know till they see how the race plays out. A lot of them watch the truck race to try and figure out if they can glean any little ideas on how to handle it. The thing they do know, it's an absolute stack field for Cup guys dropping down to be in this race. A number of road course ringers, but most notably AJ Allmendinger, the best, the king of the road course, is part of this race and the guy to watch later on today. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk to the hottest driver in the Xfinity Series, and Austin Hill, who had some issues during practice yesterday, as well as Parker Kligerman, who did the double, so he might have some advice on how to handle those stage points and stage breaks, Shannon.
Thank you so much, Josh. Listen, I was a pit reporter for a long time. I could have never walked that far to get a report. Amen, right there. All right, the starting lineup was set yesterday after qualifying, and we've got quite the duo on that front row. Larry.
Yeah, we got AJ Allmendinger, the oldest driver in the field at 41. We're going to talk to him a little bit later. Beside him, the youngest driver in the field, Sammy Smith, at 18 years old, got that win at Phoenix a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we'll go back just a little ways here to row 4. You're going to see Riley Herbst. Look, he's been in the top 8 every race this year, but he's on a top 10 streak. It's 8 races long that goes all the way back to Miami last year. Beside him, Justin Allgaier, who hopes his luck can turn around soon, Shannon.
23-year difference between AJ and Sammy Smith.
Not bad.
It's crazy. I'm going to ask AJ. We're going to talk to him later in the show. I'm going to ask him about that. All right, time to look at a Texas version of who's hot and who's not as we head into today's race in Austin. We're going to call this Cowboy Up and Cowboy Down. Did you make up that name, Larry Mack? We're going to start with you. Give me a driver who you think is Cowboy Upping, which is going on the right side, going up.
Well, there's a few of them, but I'm going to go with John Hunter Nemechek and that 20 team. Top 10 finishes in the first 5 races, including that win at Fontana. He has led a lap in all 5 races. In qualifying inside the top 10, his worst starting spot so far this year is 7th, and he has a 2nd place finish in the Truck Series race there at COTA.
We like that. We like that. Who's up? Who's going up?
So my guy doesn't quite have the results that Larry does, but I'm looking at Anthony Alfredo. He's been, if you look, just so close to being in the top 10. You see that 14th to 17th the past 4 weeks. Not with the top tier teams, with BJ McLeod Motorsports, but I love his crew chief, Pat Trison, has been around for a long time, and I just think that we need to give a little love to those guys that are just a little bit down.
You just want to say fast pasta, don't you?
You said it, I
didn't
did
say
not.
it. Okay, on the flip side, who's heading in the wrong direction? Who's going down, Larry?
Well, I had high hopes for Cole Custer, but it's not been good so far. He finished 9th at Daytona, but that's his only finish inside the top 10. His last 3 races, he has only scored a combined 12 stage points. His teammate, Riley Herbst, has finished in front of him every single race, and I thought it was going to get better.
Yeah.
He qualified 10th. He has to go to the rear because of an unapproved adjustment.
Yeah, you're going to go give him a hug next week?
He's my next guy.
Tyler Reddick, then Cole Custer. Jamie, who's heading down for you?
Yep, I'm going to go down the Justin Allgaier road, and he started the season off running so well. If you look at his results. Those first 3 races, a third, second. The last 2 weeks, though, not so good for Justin Allgaier. But this is a good track for him. Finished 3rd here in 2021 and 27, Shannon, top 10s at road courses throughout his career. So I think he can turn that look around.
We like that number, don't we? Yeah, he
27?
needs to turn like 27. He needs to turn around. Cole Custer and AJ definitely need to have good runs today. Coming up, he's back. We're going to talk with road course superstar, pole sitter AJ Allmendinger about today's return to the Xfinity Series. Plus, is Austin going to win in Austin? There's a headline right there. Josh Sims is going to talk to Austin Hill about his chances to find victory lane for the 4th time. And we're going to hear what drivers have to say about the road course. We'll find out coming up here on Race Day as we get you ready for road course racing out of COTA.
Drive me to Texas, I'll meet you in Austin. Roll down the window now. Show me the desert and take me to your house.
Live music capital of the world. You guys know that? Austin, Texas?
It's weird there, too, Shannon.
It's weird. That's a little early stump the Mac. So once upon a time, there were two road courses on the NASCAR schedule. Today, there are almost 8. That is almost a quarter of the schedule. So listen, love them or hate them, you are racing them. Here's what drivers had to say about the old road course.
You know, the road course races in the Xfinity Series are truly special.
3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, yes!
It seems like everyone can win at road courses in the Xfinity Series because almost everybody is on an even playing field on these road courses.
You know, we're racing big, heavy stock cars. The brakes can lock up really easily. Everybody's pushing the limit.
The road course races have been some of the best racing of the year, but also, too, I think it keeps everybody on the edge of their seat.
And we've got trouble.
Just got dumped by the 9.
Oh, they're wrecking like crazy back here.
You have to be perfect to get around there in the first place, and let alone to get around there in 60 some odd laps to win it. So perfection and discipline really go top of the list. Most of us did not grow up road racing. You know, we're all oval short track drivers and asphalt drivers. And so when you throw us on these road courses, now everybody is kind of at that even playing field.
You never know what's going to happen until the checker flag falls.
All right, so what was your quote, Jamie Mack? It was 2 wrongs don't make a right?
Correct.
All right, mine is a fine line between love and hate. So do you love or hate?
It's good.
Is it good? I just came up with that, by the way.
I can't call you out because I don't really know that one. So.
What do you love or hate with the road course?
So I always enjoyed going road course racing because I embraced it. And you heard Brandon Jones talk right there that a lot of guys didn't grow up doing road racing. I did in karting, so I really loved it and wanted to go do more of those. I think we might have too many of them now. You know, a few years ago, it was so good that we added more, and I don't know that more is always better, Shannon. So something like that,
Good things come to those who wait.
Less is more.
Less is more. That's what it is.
So, yeah, when you think about 8 road course races and a 33-race schedule, that's basically a fourth of the schedule. We used to maybe have 2 or 3 a year, you see right there, and now look at how many we've been running these last 3 years. So you think about 7 in the regular season. That's a lot of points you give up if you don't run well. That's a good opportunity to win a race and lock into the playoffs. And then remember, that 8th one in the playoffs, the Charlotte Roval, the cutoff race for the first round. But I think a lot like Cup, with that many Xfinity Series road course races, drivers and teams are starting to embrace it. That's the reason we're seeing so many drivers and teams competitive when we go turning left and right.
I sat here listening to him thinking of another quote the whole time.
Could come out.
I couldn't I couldn't get anything.
We're all lucky for that.
One guy who's emerged as a threat on any type of track is Austin Hill. Can he get it done on the road course? Let's find out what he has to say. He's with Josh Sims.
Well, thanks, Shannon, here with the hottest driver in the Xfinity Series this year, 3 wins, and you were a runner-up here at COTA last year. So how are you feeling about your chance to make it a 4th on the season later today?
Well, we struggled a little bit in practice. It seemed like our Bennett Chevrolet was okay, but in qualifying, just slipping the rear tires a lot, sliding around, losing a lot of rear lateral. So trying to figure it out. I don't know how much of it is what I'm doing in the race car, how much of it's just trying to get the drivability in the car. So we're going to have some work to do today. We do have our work cut out for us, but if anyone can do it, it's my RCR guys and everybody back at RCR and ECR Engines. I think we just got to run a solid race all day. Don't know exactly what we're going to do with the stages yet, but maybe flip stages. I'm not sure, but try to get some track position, get up front, and I think we can get some clean air. We'll have a shot at the end, but we'll see.
Thanks, Austin, and good luck. Shannon?
Thank you, Josh. If that doesn't tell the story of the ups and downs of NASCAR, I don't know what does. Because that doesn't sound like a guy who's won 3 races.
Well, no, I think it tells exactly of a guy that's won 3 of the first 5 races because he doesn't think he has a winning car today. And his expectation when he comes to the racetrack is to be able to win now. Look, he ran second here a year ago, and I think if we did that interview a year ago, he'd have been pretty excited with where his car was right now. But he fully expects to win, and the numbers that he's producing right now are unbelievable. The 9 consecutive top 10s, it's on par with what Tyler Reddick did in that car when he won the championship a few years ago. So Austin Hill, I'm going to say that he's going to be okay. He's just a little frustrated right now.
He qualified 12th for today's race. We'll see how he does out there at COTA. Up next, Parker Kligerman finished last week's race in Atlanta going backwards. Yes, backwards. Today he rolls off 5th. Forward, he's going to join Josh Sims. And we're going to map the lefts, the rights, the wrongs to help you navigate this challenging track at COTA. And we'll also catch up with that guy right there. If he can hear us, wave. Oh, hi, AJ.
He's playing sexy back to NASCAR.
He is. We'll be with you in a second, AJ. Yeah, it's A.J. Allmendinger who drives the number 10 car. He's always a favorite on the road course, so definitely keep your eyes on him today as he starts from that P1 spot all the way up front. So we crunched the numbers the way that Dinger crunches the competition. 10 career road course wins, including 5 of his last 7 Xfinity road course races, as well as 2 Cup road course wins. So you saw him before the commercial break. We've got the Dinger here in studio. Let's go out to him right now. AJ, it is always awesome to see you. And my question is about confidence and the balance of confidence and pressure that you feel when you come to this type of track, because all eyes are on you, my friend.
Yeah, Shannon, it's a good thing, right? You want that type of pressure to know that everybody's looking at you as one of the guys to win. In the Xfinity Series over the last couple of years with college racing, we've had a lot of success. But at the end of the day, the pressure comes from within. I put all the pressure on myself every race, but I know on the road courses it kind of ratchets up a little bit. So the ultimate goal is all the men and women at college racing deserve to win, and hopefully we can put this Celsius Chevy into victory lane.
All right, AJ, I got 2 things for you. The first question that I have is all these road courses have a different set of challenges, and I want you to tell me what those challenges are today. The other thing is I saw you take that kind of a sissy sip right there. I want you to chug whatever you're holding right now.
Chug.
There you go. Perfect. No burp.
Just don't burp right now.
Hey, Jamie, I can't be getting all jacked up right before the race, all right? This is a long race. And that leads into your first question, the fact that if I'm all jacked up, I'm hard on the throttle, and I'm burning the rear tires off this Chevrolet. So that's the thing. It's this racetrack is a lot of fun. But it really, especially in the Xfinity car, really uses up tires. So it's easy to go out there and set a pace early, but burn your rear tires off too quick. So I think that's the biggest thing is everybody's going to fight rear grip. It's a matter if you can kind of manage it better. With no stage breaks now, there's no real set number of what you have to get to, so it's all strategy from within the team. So just trying to be patient, not overuse the car too early, and have something left at the end of the race.
So, AJ, you're one of 5 Cup drivers doing double duty, which is the most so far in 2023. I know first order of business is this car today, this 10 car. But I watched that 50-minute Cup practice yesterday. I know you went out and qualified 7th today in the Cup car, but it looks like you really were searching and struggling in that Cup car. I know it's 2 completely different cars, but it is the same track. Is there anything you can take from this 10 Xfinity car to help your Cup car for tomorrow?
Yeah, Larry, I don't think it's so much set up, but laps are laps, right? Jamie will tell you, anytime you can run laps on any type of racetrack, but especially on a road course, get in the rhythm, kind of see how the track starts to change as rubber gets built up on it, things like that. That's stuff that I could take in going into tomorrow. I felt like in qualifying today, and you were right, we were way off on the Cup car yesterday. So we got that Nutrien Ag Solutions Farm Smart Chevy a little bit better. We still got some room to go. There's some fast guys on the Cup side of it for sure. But the focus today is trying to get the Celsius Chevy into victory lane and really just learn as much from the racetrack as I can take into tomorrow.
AJ, I was crunching some numbers like Larry Mack likes to do. You're 41. Sammy Smith, who's starting alongside of you, is 18.
I told her not to go here, AJ. I told her not to go here.
23-year difference. I mean, you could be his father, my friend, technically.
That's okay. It's like a fine wine, Shannon. I know
You're
you.
right.
You know, I know you love fine wine. Exactly. Yeah. You know how it is. It gets better with age. So yeah.
If it makes you feel better, AJ, I could be your dad.
Well, yeah, and we would have you sip that Celsius again, AJ, but I don't want you like running across the stage at driver intros. So good luck today. Hope to see you in victory lane, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Always appreciate it.
All right. Always love catching up with the dinger. All right, coming up, what we really went down last week in Atlanta with Josh Williams. He's going to give his debrief to Regan Smith. And we're going to have our own version of NASCAR Boot Camp, how drivers navigate every lap of this track. Stick around. He'll be running across the driver intro saying, Jamie back.
We went from the dinger to a mullet. That was a heck of a transition.
Now pit sign.
We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Austin, Texas. We're getting set for the third Xfinity Series race out in the Texas state capital. Also the sunniest city in America.
Full
if you didn't know that.
Today, Shannon.
Well, listen, I do. It's my McNugget. Yes, it's 300 days of sunshine, if you're wondering. And if you're wondering who might be good later today, here's a look at some of the average road course finishes in the field. Here were the top 5 last year. So the top 3 right there, they have moved on. So Noah Gragson is not. So that moves Josh Berry and Hill up a few spots, and filling in behind them, regulars Cole Custer, Brandon Jones, and Sammy Smith. So how do drivers navigate COTA today? Well, let's pull up our virtual track map thanks to our friends at iRacing. The 3.4-mile track has 20 turns, Jamie, of all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, let's just start going into turn 1. It's a pretty big climb up into turn 1. And whoever designed this track was a fan, because they made the track really wide getting into turn 1, and so that allows
Still
these
not
like
wide enough.
it allows just these chaotic restarts. But that's a first gear corner that you're going to see everybody have to get slowed down. It's harder than it looks. We see a lot of guys overshoot that on the restarts. Once you get to the top of the hill, though, you turn the corner and then you start down the S's, and the S's are again, whoever designed this wasn't a driver, because they're terrible, they're hard, they're decreasing as you go down through them, through second gear, through almost all these corners, lots of elevation change through here. So the S's, Shannon, I think might be the hardest set of turns on the NASCAR circuit.
Really? Okay, so you mentioned the choose code at the beginning of the show. Why is that going to be such a big deal today?
Well, it's the first time we're doing it at a road course, and we're going to do it for all 3 series. We actually just saw it in the Truck Series race just a little bit ago, and it's a little bit more complicated at a road course because you get the one to go on the backside of the racetrack. Right here, the choose zone is coming off turn 11, going down that long straightaway towards turn 12. And I know you want to be on the inside when you get to that turn 1, but Jamie, I'm telling my driver, just get as far forward as you can.
You definitely want to be
as few cars in front of you as possible.
You want to be as far forward, but it gets so chaotic on those late restarts. I think I want far forward and to the inside so I can have my own destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended at turn 11. I'm going to get us to turn 12. It's the longest straightaway leading up to that point. We see lots of guys, lots of braking there. Now, we get to turn 15, though, Shannon. This is where the chaos broke out last year with Allmendinger, Bowman, and Ross Chastain. And again, these corners aren't your typical road course type 90-degree turns or sweepers. It's a carousel, but it's not constant. And so it makes a huge challenge for the drivers. And there's really no out of bounds here. There's a few places that you have to be disciplined, but most of the runoffs, it's just run whatever you need to run.
Lots of C's. Chaos, corner, carousel.
There you go. There's your next
confusion.
one right there.
Larry, one thing that's different, too, is the elevation change at this place, right?
Yeah, when you come off turn 20, which is a left-hander, it's a corner you want to get off good because the checkered flag may be waving, but you go up this long frontage straightaway, and it's almost like an airplane taking off. When you go up toward turn 1, it's a 134-foot elevation change, and for eye candy, we show you how tall the observation tower is, 251 feet. In fact, Ross Chastain dropped a watermelon off that tower yesterday.
Not much less of that watermelon.
He did. All right, let's head out to the track. A guy who came very close to winning a race last week is with Josh Sims.
Here with Parker Kligerman. And Parker, you've done the double now, or you're about to do it. You've already been on the track today. So what did you learn that can kind of help you as you get set for this Xfinity race now?
A lot, just sort of getting the motions of road course racing. Unfortunately, what happened with our Food Country USA truck there, we were in top 5, top 3. Felt like we had a serious chance to win. We were catching Zane there, and you saw what happened with him later. So I hate that. We haven't had a great run of races with them, but you know what? We have a very fast Big Machine, Spike Core, Chevy here in the Xfinity Series as fast as Xfinity 10G. You heard of that before? I finally have done that. But yeah, no, I think we're in a really good position. I was really impressed with our speed yesterday. I still think there's stuff for me to learn. I think there's things we're just tweaking, but we really have a great base, and that's been our whole season, right? It's been able to go out there and just sort of set the base, the tone for what we're going to build from here with this race team. Patrick Donahue and everyone's doing a great job, so hopefully we can go execute kind of like we were doing in the truck race, and I think we can be competitive all day.
Thanks, and good luck, Parker. Shannon?
Thanks, Josh. Here's another quote for you, glass half full, because he is glass half full every time you hear from him.
Yes. But when you think back to Atlanta last week, they were so fast. They won both the stages, and he finished fourth, but the rear bumper went across the start-finish line first. But it doesn't matter how you get there, just so you get there. But he kind of touched on it. This is his first year with Big Machine Racing, the 48 team, and they just keep getting a little bit better every single week. Qualified fifth today, and Parker, below the radar, is a good road racer because he won the truck race at Mid-Ohio last year.
That's a frameable picture, by the way, finishing backwards across the start-finish line. I would put
highlight
that on
reel.
Yeah, highlight reel, absolutely. All right, we're going to make some highlights this weekend. Tomorrow, don't miss race day kicking off at 2 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Then you can flip over to Fox at 3 for more coverage, and then, of course, the race. Listen, you don't want to miss Ross Chastain, Clint Boyer, and Bob Pockris because they were up to no good. Take a look.
It'd be awesome to do one of your watermelon smashes from here.
Off of here? Yes! Ross! I spent 100 days growing this watermelon. I'm gonna give it to you. Please take care of it. So take care of it.
We know what to do with it. Let's go, buddy. Come on!
Oh, what could go wrong there? I have no idea.
You had to show it? You didn't believe me?
You have another free shot tomorrow during the race. Race day will kick it off, of course, to win Clint Boyer's money, the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Just download it, scan the QR code, pick your answers for Sunday's Cup race, and everybody, this week's jackpot is $10,000, so you don't want to miss that. Coming up later, William Byron making a rare Xfinity appearance. Josh Sims is going to find out what the two-time Cup winner this season is up to today. But next, Josh Williams is the story of the week. What really went down? He's going to sit down with Regan Smith and explain it. A little heart action there. Welcome back to Race Day, and of course the story of the week in the Xfinity Series has no doubt been the actions and suspension of Josh Williams. Alex LeBay will fill in for him today. So let's catch you up. Early in last week's race in Atlanta, after debris from his wrecked race car was being distributed on the track, NASCAR ordered Josh Williams to park the car. He did. He just did it on the front stretch. He got out, did a little nonverbal communication in the nicest way possible, and headed to the NASCAR hauler for his punishment. Regan Smith, who's also seen the inside of that NASCAR hauler, spent some time with Williams talking about the incident.
This is the kind of day where a driver like this can make a big splash.
And you know what? I hope he does. Lead me up to the moment where you got out of the race car.
So we got the damage, of course, in the wreck of the 2702. Come down pit road, you know, it's cold.
There's a lot of damage there. Whole hood's wrinkled up.
So we're trying to heat bare bond up with torches, get it to stick, and it wasn't sticking.
Caution's out.
Sorensen, my spotter, comes over the radio, and he says, hey, so NASCAR says you got to park it.
They just said that we extended the caution. They want to park it. Really?
Let's have the 92 make its way to the garage. We're not scoring him any longer.
Well, at that point in time, I stopped at the start-finish line. I wasn't planning on it. And Reed finally come back over, and he's like, yeah, we're parked.
I don't know what to tell you, but we're done now, right? Pull her in.
I was like, well, I'm already parked. So I just got out.
Come out.
Look at this. What an exit.
Wave and see you later.
The fans like exploded, so I turned around and waved back to them too, and I think that escalated the situation pretty big.
The driver, owner, and crew chief of the 92 need to meet in the Xfinity hauler post-race.
Once you get to the hauler, you're basically sitting there for the next 3 hours, give or take.
It was a long time.
What's going through your mind?
Whenever I walked in there and they wouldn't let me change, they wouldn't let me have my backpack, they wouldn't let me have anything, or my phone or anything like that, and I knew I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
The checker flag comes out, Wayne comes to see you. What do you say in that moment?
I mean, I was super frustrated, and I knew we were going to have a good day minus the damage. You know, we could have survived to the end, and as long as we didn't get a wreck at the end of the race, we still would have finished, you know, top 10, top 15. I mean, part of me is like, man, I just want to tell them that I think this is a bad call.
And the other part's like, I'm just going to let them talk, tell me what they want to tell me, and that's the approach I took.
Josh Williams, one of the great veterans in the Xfinity Series. He's not just a driver. He does everything for this race team.
You're driving for a small team. Now you're going to miss a race. What's the impact from that standpoint?
A small team like DGM relies on driver and owners points at the end of the year. We rely on that points fund to pay our employees so we can keep them on and make sure they have a job, and to refurbish our cars and to get things ready for next year so we're prepared. And I mean, I don't regret it at all. Like, not one bit. To see all the people kind of get behind it, you know, the fans and other drivers, and it was cool to see all that.
The punishment fit the crime in your eyes?
I think so. From our standpoint, missing that one race could change our offseason or change our year next year.
Josh Williams is a great person, but this man goes to a children's hospital every single weekend.
Because you've, over the years, done a lot of great things, taking the time to go to the hospitals and be with the kids. How did that all start taking place?
2015, I think. We had a mutual friend, and one of their family members was in the children's hospital. We were like, well, let's go see her, and we'll bring the car. So all the kids came down and looked at the car, and we went and hung out with some of the kids, you know, in their rooms and stuff, and I left there in tears. And it's life-changing to see the kids get so excited. I mean, they forget about everything that's going on. That made a world of difference, and I was like, man, we got to do this again, and we ain't stopped yet.
So I think the positive thing out of all of this, I mean, I know he's been suspended, and I know that it's, you know, going to affect the team, but we've all had an opportunity to really tell the story of Josh Williams. Totally. We've gotten to know him and all of the great things that he does and has done, and I think that's a really positive spin on this whole thing.
Yeah, and I would say that you know, the way he handled himself when he got out of the car makes more sense now when you see what he's doing for these kids, and like how you know, touching that was for him. I also think that we need to point out NASCAR handled this well afterwards. Wayne Otten, I think, gave the right punishment, because, you know, Josh Williams, you could read his lips when they said something about a fine. He's like, I can't afford to pay it anyway. We know that he's not a big budget driver. So I think the suspension proves the point. Don't do it again and move on, and we've got to know a lot about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's even turned it even into a bigger positive, because he's making T-shirts that he's selling for charity. Yeah. So, I mean, this thing just continues to grow. There's the shirt right there. It just continues to grow in a positive way. But I speak from experience. He did the right thing in that NASCAR trailer. The best thing you can do is listen and not talk. Keep the conversation really, really short.
We all dress up for Darlington throwback. I think we've got to get that. We got to get that right there. We do have to. I think we have more security footage from earlier today. Oh, Larry, they're pulling your car, Larry. They're towing your car.
Well.
Oh, it's Josh. Josh is out there towing.
That's my car.
Yeah, they're going to mess up your suspension if they really tow it.
He gave you the heart sign. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
That's
too good.
You know what? I'm taking it in a positive way. I've had enough of y'all, right?
It's just you and me, buddy.
This is for you.
Yeah.
They gave us a whole lot of heart.
These guys are going up next. We're going to go to Adam, Joey, and Brad. That was good stuff right there. They better get out there. That suspension's going to get messed up on that baby. That was funny. Yeah, glad that you could be here for us. 6th Xfinity Series race of the season out there. You see that Texas state flag flying high over the track. And last Sunday, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski were racing door-to-door for the win in Atlanta. Today, they're not on the track. They're in the booth with Adam Alexander. Let's head to Austin now. But hey, listen, before we hand it off to you guys, you know that it's a special year for NASCAR, 75th anniversary. So we thought that we'd rewind the clocks a little bit, way back to both of your Xfinity wins, which happened to come in back-to-back weeks in 2008. We could talk over this, so I want to get your thoughts on what we're seeing here. We see Brad Keselowski, 88 car. Look at you, Brad. Nashville, 2008,
totally
buddy.
Forgot that he even drove for Junior Motorsports. It's been so long ago.
Yeah, you remember that though, Brad, right?
Oh, yeah, I just want to point out I won my first race before Joey won his first race.
You started I think Joey might have been younger, though, Brad, so that counts right there.
Supposed to be on my side. It took me 20 or 30, yeah.
I think I may have done that Victory Lane interview with you in 2008.
Shocking by that
I know.
news,
Jamie loved when I show videos of me doing interviews with him. Take a look at this, guys. Here's your head-to-heads, your tail of the tapes, all the starts, all the wins, all the top 10s. Adam, as you can see at the bottom of there.
I love they put Adam on the graphic.
Zero.
Love the number of wins.
Yeah, the old goose egg.
Let's go up to you guys. Adam, you're looking good in the booth today with that suit and tie.
I'm just glad we got a name drop from Shannon. You know what I mean? I mean, the segment is now complete that Shannon has a name drop. And here's a trivia question for you. You guys were 1-2 last week. How many times did you finish 1-2 on the Xfinity side in your career?
Ooh, this is a few, especially early in the season.
I'm going to say 12.
I'll take the over.
12,
I'll take the over.
You're going
that.
over.
Yes.
How about 4?
Okay.
I mean, boy, they nailed it. And now let's go back to Shannon, Jamie, and Larry, because we have nothing to add here. And it was 2 apiece, 2 wins, 2 seconds for each of you. So
we got to go at it again. We need one of these race cars to
we
get
felt way better about that answer instead than we should have.
Hey, here we are running a road course for the first time 2023, the first of 8 on the schedule in the Xfinity Series this year. I want to get your intel. Who's the toughest competitor you ever faced on a road course, Joey?
I'd have to say Marcus Ambrose at Watkins Glen. He was an animal at that racetrack, and that was back when we only had 2 road courses. We didn't have COTA. We didn't have all these other ones. It was just at Watkins Glen, and he was so fast, especially through the bus stop. I remember following him one time. I learned so much, and I actually became competitive after following him for a few laps. So anytime you get around a really good driver, that seems to help.
That's best answer by far. So if I got to pick a second best, the guy that I always had a lot of respect for on road courses that nobody really talked about was Carl Edwards. He would win all the time on the Xfinity tracks. He won Sonoma. He was a really, really good road racer, and I don't think he had the best equipment. I think he was better than he even showed.
Yep, so there you go. A couple of really good ones there. Another one on track today, A.J. Allmendinger, best all-time in the Xfinity Series with 10 wins. I don't think he's going to do a backflip, though, if he wins today. Probably not. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I've
see him try.
I've never liked Marcus Ambrose. You know why? He gave me a Vegemite sandwich one time. That puts him way down on my list. We're looking forward to the broadcast later on today.
You know, Joey's drinking words become animal. Marcus Ambrose was an animal at Watkins Glen. Joey's car at Atlanta was an animal. Everybody's an animal.
Cross Vegemite off as a potential sponsor for the show. Thank you very much, Adam Alexander. Let's go trackside where Josh is standing by with driver who's starting 9th today.
Thanks, Shannon. Here with William Byron, one of the Cup drivers doing the double dip this weekend. How you feeling about your chances heading into this race?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, HendrickCars.com, Chevy's been really strong. You know, practice yesterday was really limited. I feel like we got maybe 4 laps, but felt like our pace was good. We were kind of in traffic and trying to work through that. Just trying to figure out where my braking marks are. Honestly, going from car to car, the Cup car, you can brake quite a bit deeper. So, and there's azimuth brake fade. So I think all those things, managing all that as the race goes on, is going to be tough. But these things are really fun to drive. They roll a lot and they make a lot different grip than the Cup car does. So I think it'll be an exciting race, hopefully, between AJ and I and a couple other guys.
Thanks, and good luck, William. Shannon?
Hey, thanks so much, Josh. All right, time for a little Stump the Max. Play along at home if you'd like to. Larry Mack, I don't know how this is possible because I feel like you blew him out of the water last week, Jamie.
Well, I know
that's the one.
Yeah,
I know his answers. I just
no,
don't know
that's
mine.
not the one. All right, Larry, who won the first Xfinity road course race ever run?
Ever run?
Ever run.
I thought she was going to say at COTA. Did you not?
Oh,
No.
wow. Was it DW?
It was
How about that?
DW.
Boom.
Good job. 1986 Road, Atlanta.
Yeah.
What's up, DW, if you're watching? Jamie, who was the first driver born outside the United States to win an Xfinity road course race?
Juan Pablo Montoya?
He's a mighty fine fellow.
That does not help me at all.
Fellows.
That helps me at like 0.
It's not multiple
That does not
choice.
help you at all. I totally said his
Well, I don't
name.
know. I didn't think Canada. I was thinking a little farther away.
Yeah, I guess, okay, just about. Larry, which team did Alabama beat for first title under Nick Saban?
I was there in the Rose Bowl. University of Texas.
Texas, yes, the Longhorns.
Are you going to ask me like what car I drove in the?
No.
I mean, like, damn, that's what you're going to ask Larry?
But I do have an easy one for you if you don't get this when you're in trouble. What was the name of the movie known for the line, all right, all right, all right?
Oh my gosh, my favorite movie, and I can't think of it. I can't think of it.
Performance anxiety.
I can't think of it.
Love it. Love it.
Can you think of it?
Love it.
Day.
Oh my, confused.
Whoa.
You didn't know that, Larry.
Yeah,
You've never seen
there
Dazed
you
and
go.
Confused.
All right, I would say we have a tiebreaker,
No,
but
we
we
don't.
don't, because Larry, we'll just go ahead. The Xfinity Series has had the most cautions ever through 5 races. We're so dazed and confused, but do you know the answer? How many are there, Larry? How many cautions have we had?
Combined in these
Yeah,
first?
all 5. Just throw out a number.
I'll throw out 26.
27.
44.
All right, well,
There we
I win.
go.
I'm closer.
You did great today, though. Good
doesn't
job,
get
my
you
friend.
anything.
He said, that's my favorite movie. I can't think of the name.
I can't. I'm like, oh no, I'm locked up.
Oh, I've been there before, my friend. That red light goes on and you go, oh boy. We'll be right back. We're going to make our race picks when we come back. Good job today, Jamie. All right. We are back and getting ready to road course. That was for you, Jamie Mack.
Yeah, it's Dazed and Confused, in case you're curious.
Good job. Second time, a charm. We are getting you ready for the first road course race of the Xfinity Series season. And when drivers are ready, too.
Yeah, there's Sheldon Creed. Great qualifying effort. Qualified 4th. Coming to life here. Top 10 in 2 of his last 3 races. Did finish 10th in this race 1 year ago. A little work to do to catch that teammate, Austin Hill, though.
Yeah, Josh Berry's going to be back in 15th. Pretty good road racer, though. He's got 5 top 10s in 7 starts, but struggled here last year. 27th in his only start here at COTA.
All those guys getting ready. Chandler Smith down there as well.
Yeah, this is his first Xfinity Series road course race, and I'm sure every lap he will get better, but he's starting deep in the field, finished 27th. Rough day at Atlanta last week, though. 28th after 3 consecutive top 5 finishes.
Yeah, and I know we talk about Austin Hill having all the momentum, but Riley Herbst has been incredible this year. Super consistent, finished 8th or better in all of his races. Getting his picture taken with a little cowgirl right there. Shannon, seems like everything's living right for that boy.
Awesome. Yeah, Carson Hocevar making his Xfinity Series debut. I love this guy, but I mean, I'm used to seeing him in different kind of hats.
Well,
yeah, I was going to say, I am missing the different hats for sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've met Carson Hocevar, and he's almost twice as tall as I am. Like, you don't realize that when you see him on TV. I ran into him one time, and I'm like, wow, I don't know how you can even get in the truck.
I think everyone's
taller than me.
Doing double duty today.
That's a busy day. All right, time for our race picks, okay? I'm going to go first, and so I just, I went with our guy, A.J. Allmendinger. It's a no-brainer. We talked to him earlier in the show. He's so good on road courses, won 10 in the Xfinity Series, a couple in the Cup Series. He's my guy, Larry.
Well, I play by the rules of I'm going to pick an Xfinity Series regular. So I'm going to go with the 18-year-old that's on the outside of the front row, Sammy Smith. Again, fast everywhere he goes. Got that win at Phoenix just a couple weeks ago.
I am going to go with Ty Gibbs.
Oh, you're on the same bandwagon as her.
Three
pick
wins.
A cup driver. Why
the one
not?
thing that I have learned about working with Larry is that he makes the rules up that fit him, not necessarily what fits the team.
He does.
I'll agree with you as long as it works in my favor.
Let's go trackside for opening ceremonies. Good pick, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise as you are able and remove your hats as the Austin Travis County Emergency Medical Services Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as the Chief Operating Officer of Pit Boss Grills, Jordan Thiessen, offers today's invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all here together today on this beautiful day. We thank you for this country and for the blessing it is to live here. Thank you for our first responders and our military and for how they protect our freedoms. Lord, today we ask that you would protect the drivers and the crews. And we ask for a great race. And most of all, I just want to thank you for the hope we have in you, that you sent your Son to save each one of us. And it's in his name we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Here to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Christian recording artist Peyton Keller.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. bursting in there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We're getting ready to race in COTA. AJ Allmendinger leading the field to green. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Adam Alexander after the break. Enjoy the race, everyone.
It's been a wild start to the season. Dominant performances. And some unexpected finishes.
Look at this. What an exit.
Wave and see you later.
But today, a new test awaits. It's a road course rumble in Austin.
Green flag, green flag. Go, 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 go. He's going. Really good set of corners right there.
And the way I see it, you have two options here. Either run up front or get run over.
Crazy, chaotic. Oh, my goodness.
So let's have some fun.
Fox NASCAR in Austin, Texas, 30 minutes from downtown, sets Circuit of the Americas, a state-of-the-art road course. And today, NASCAR Xfinity teams racing here for the third time. And look who's in the booth, the dynamic duo. They were 1-2 on track in the Cup race last Sunday at Atlanta. Joey Logano gets the win. Brad Keselowski comes home second. Appropriately, Joey looks happy here, and Brad looks intense. Welcome into the booth, everybody, with the fellas. I'm Adam Alexander. You're going to have to perk up if you're going to be with us today. And you know what? The star of the show, the drivers, but 1A on that list is the track. Let's take a look at this layout. 3.41 miles. You make that incredible climb, 130 feet up to turn number 1, Joey.
Turn 1's a tight turn, very slow, lots of passing opportunity. As you go down to turn 2, turn 3, into the S's. The S's keep getting sharper as you go through the corners, downshifting, and then finally accelerating out of turn 9.
Yeah, and that brings you over to 10 and 11, hairpin corner, one of the best passing corners on the track. You're going to see a lot of action there. And turn 12 today, very high speed, very good chances to outbrake people and work your way to the carousel.
And the carousel, long sweeping right-hander, a lot of lap time able to make there into 19 and 20 is your last chance to go for the win.
What is the balance of patience and aggression today? Because you got to go, but you also have to be there at the end.
Yeah, this is an easy track, Adam, to get yourself out of position on the racetrack. We talked about the S's. You don't want to get a penalty there. You get racing too hard side by side, it's very easy to get yourself in trouble.
He's always smiling. I'm always smiling. Can you smile? I mean, you were so intense in that look earlier.
I know. Well, we'll see. If I win tomorrow, I have a big smile.
Relax. Have a good time. This is your golf game. It's a Saturday in the booth. The NASCAR Xfinity Series coming your way from COTA. Let's go trackside and get the command of fire engines.
All right, race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome Justin Becker, representing USA Today, and Danson's company-wide raffle winner, Zandria Hunsaker.
Drivers, start your engines!
Today marks the 75th time the NASCAR Xfinity Series has gone road racing, and today we're doing it deep in the heart of Texas.
Today, the city of Austin becomes the city of NASCAR.
The world-renowned Circuit of the Americas. We are ready for the show at COTA. This place really is about momentum.
Wow!
And there's trouble. Look out!
This is the racing that I came for.
AJ Allmendinger does it at Circuit of the Americas. Such a fun racetrack. And when you come here, it's not just a race, it is an event. And the weather couldn't be better. Our Fox weather, 81 degrees, going to a high of 84. A nice breeze on this spring, summer type day. Plenty of sunshine here in Austin, Texas. It was cold last Saturday evening, but things warmed up at the end. Austin Hill trying to win for a third time. He gets it done. But watch what happens behind him. Parker Kligerman backwards across the start-finish line, finished fourth. That is his best run of the year. So who is this Parker Kligerman? You know, this team, Big Machine Racing, it was basically founded right here in Austin, Texas a few years ago. Kligerman running full-time. He's from Connecticut. I'm embarrassed to say he was born in 1990. Makes me feel old.
It's a good year.
Be nice. Be nice. Parker moonlights as a pit reporter on the NBC side. And as we said, he's running full-time this year. A driver we could be talking about in line for a championship run, starting fifth today. Let's go from the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Parker Kligerman, Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got us? Kind of hard to hear him. Oh, Parker, you had a good run last week. You finished backwards with a top 5 finish. We're thinking this week maybe you should try forward. Brad thinks you're the sleeper. How do you think your car is?
Yeah, I think forwards would be a better result. You know, we were close last week. It's really proud of this team getting that stage win. Being in contention and being right up there at the front at the end shows what, you know, we're building here. Big Machine Racing. And obviously, qualifying the front here. I'm excited about today, though. I think we've got a great race car. We can be competitive.
10-4, man. Thank you. Have a good one, man.
I hope the car is better than the radio.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing that happens here a lot. It's such a big racetrack.
Yes.
You're over 3 miles, right? And you get way far out there, and there's this big pit building that we're in right now, right here on pit road. Nice suites, everything in here. But it really blocks the communication from the crew chiefs, and they have to communicate a lot through the spotters, but no one can hear each other all at the same time. It gets very challenging here.
Absolutely, Joe. And I think that's one of the things that stands out of this track, as well as the Cup drivers in the field today.
Look at these drivers doing double duty. We talked about A.J. Allmendinger on the pole. You got William Byron, who qualified 9th only because his time was disallowed. He actually had the fastest lap in the final round. Eric Almirola here, Josh Bilicki, and Ty Gibbs is back in the Xfinity Series starting 3rd. And he's very comfortable when it comes to road racing. Youngest driver ever in the Xfinity Series to win on the road. Did it at Daytona a couple of years ago. In fact, 3 of his 11 wins have come while road racing in Xfinity. Let's hear from driver 19 now, Brad.
Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Nice talking to you, buddy. So you're back in the Xfinity Series. It's been a while, all the way since your last race, the championship race. You came here to race in COTA, and I guess all the fans want to know, why COTA? What brings you back?
Yeah, I think just more track time. I get to race against some of my buddies, and it should be a good day. It should be a fun race, and it's always fun to wheel hop. The first time I wheel hop, I think, was in practice, and I smiled a little bit. I missed that, just a touch.
Absolutely. Big difference between the Cup cars, Xfinity cars. For the fans at home, maybe you can explain how they drive differently and what that means to you for this experience here.
Yeah, I think they drive really different, but I think, you know, all the braking markers and lift markers and everything is really, really close. So I think it's very beneficial for me with this experience in the Cup Series to get more time and hopefully put on a good show for you guys and have a good time.
10-4. Good luck. Thank you, Ty.
Ty starting in the 3rd position. Now let's hear from our pit reporters. We start things off with Regan Smith. He's no stranger to success road racing in Xfinity. Good afternoon, Regan.
Well, good afternoon, Adam. It has been a bit of a slow start this year for 10-time Xfinity winner Cole Custer. Only 1 top 10 finish in the first 5 races, and yesterday they found an issue with the race car after practice before qualifying, a cracked rotor that they felt like would have been something that maybe could have ended their day today had they not found that when it happened. They went ahead and qualified the first round of qualifying, would have ended up 10th as things worked out. Instead, he has got to go to the back, so a bit of bad luck, actually perhaps some good luck for Cole Custer as he looks to get back into his winning ways in the Xfinity Series. Josh Sims?
Well, speaking of winning ways, Regan, all eyes are going to be on A.J. Allmendinger in the 10 car, coming down from the Cup Series to take part in this race. You can call him the king of the road course. He's got a whopping 10 road course victories in the Xfinity Series. He won this race at COTA last year, finished second the year before. And oh, by the way, he's on the pole for this race. The scary thing about A.J., he said he went back, looked at the spots where they were weak last year, and he feels they can actually be better. Yes, better at this race than what he did last year when he won. And you know, AJ's a guy that everybody looks at to always win when he's on the road courses. A lot of pressure on him, but he said, hey, no one puts more pressure to win these races than he does on himself, guys.
And if you look at his career numbers, Josh, you believe he can handle the pressure just fine. So we've heard from the pit reporters. Now we go to our spotter analyst, Coleman Presley. Where are you starting things out today, Coleman?
Hey, Adam, over here in the brand new spotter stand over in the turns 9, 10, and 11 area. The importance of this stand right here, it's brand new sight lines from what you've seen in the past. I think the #1 priority today for road course racing in general, over to my right on the backstretch, we have the choose cone today. It's going to be really important for these secondary spotters to get used to the choose numbers, how you count the cars, make sure you're not giving up unnecessary rows. It's going to be a very important job for these secondary spotters. From doing the truck race earlier today, it's very hot out, not very many stage breaks, not many cautions. Got to keep your driver focused. Whenever you see him make a mistake, one of the 3 spotters on the track is going to do their best to try to get him refocused. Look forward to watching the race today with you guys.
Coleman, there's a rumor going around there were some snakes in the parking lot over there. Is that true?
That is a true statement. We've seen snakes today, and I stayed on the stand away from it.
All right, be safe. We're going racing from Circuit of the Americas when we return on FS1. So good to have you with us. Getting close, just about time to start part 2 of our NASCAR doubleheader. Congratulations to Zane Smith, won of the Craftsman Truck Series earlier today. You watched it live on FS1. Now it's these Xfinity teams ready for 46 laps at COTA. And pacing the field, the all-new Toyota Supra GR.
And you guys are about to see something on the initial start here. The way they designed this racetrack, turn 1 is so wide. They have the inside curbing about 6 lanes wide to where there's a lot of opportunity to go 3 wide, 4 wide, even 5 wide as guys decel into that corner. You're going to see that on every restart today. And they're not going to be patient on the first one here.
Race analysis, fuel window, 20 lap strategy today. Probably going to be all over the board. Remember, stages end, but we keep on going. No cautions at the end of the stages on road courses in 2023. Front row, the best ever in the Xfinity Series on road courses. That would be A.J. Allmendinger next to Sammy Smith, who won earlier this year at Phoenix. But he's a high school senior, only 18 years old. And you see those battling adversity early on. 13 drivers to the rear for unapproved adjustments. It's race number 3 at COTA for the Xfinity Series. We're glad you're with us. Here we go.
Nice drag race down into turn 1.
On your left there. On your left. Stay in the middle here.
Here's what we talked about. They're 4 wide before they get in the corner. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, this is a great way to get torn up very early. What about this camera angle? Great job to the FS1 team. You can really see the checkups in turn 1 and how the cars get so wide and then come together with all those nose-to-tail accidents.
You said it, Brad, how slow they are in the center of that corner. Then they go down into the S's here. Rolling momentum, hard to go too wide through here. So you're going from 4 wide in turn 1 to try to be single file by the time you go through these S's as guys are off in the dirt.
Yeah, you want to be single file by the time you get to about turn 8, turn 9, and if you're not, you're really setting yourself up for trouble. You see a lot of guys going to run through the dirt here today. You just saw all that flashing up, a little bit of speed down there.
Hey, Sheldon Creed, I mean, lost in it all. The 2 jumps to the front, gets in front of A.J. Allmendinger to begin this race.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. Started 4th, comes to the lead. I would not have picked 4th place as taking the lead on the start, but A.J., he's going to try to get this lead back really quick, I think, Joey.
And this is where he's going to have an opportunity. He's going to get that big draft down the straightaways. Xfinity cars draft pretty well, and then he's going to try to outbrake him. And he's still on the straightaway here, by the way. It's very long.
There you go, peeking a nose out, Joey. Thought better of it.
Maybe a little too far back, a little early in the race. 2 also got in there pretty good.
He got in there really good.
Sammy Smith started on the front row. He's 4th, so he's settled in right behind his teammate Ty Gibbs, who won the pole here a season ago in this Xfinity race.
How impressive has Sammy Smith been? He's been in contention. And AJ, like we said, he wasn't going to wait. He's going to put it down in there.
Possible crossover here. Sheldon trying to get back to his outside. AJ's going to be able to secure that spot.
Surprise, surprise, new leader. His name is AJ Allmendinger.
AJ is just such a good road racer. He drives the car so hard. That's something you'll see from him. It just pushes so hard. And here's a replay of the restart here, or the initial start. You see the two with Sheldon Creed there. 3 wide on the top. Gets a little tag in the left rear. Still able to accelerate off the corner.
Gonna run Sammy Smith out here just a little bit. There's an art to that.
Both of the Sams went wide. Sammy Smith, Sam Mayer.
Oh, in the back, Almirola gets spun out first lap.
Driving that 08 for Bobby Dotter, getting some extra time this weekend.
Oh, you see a lot of damage. It looks like the 8 car, Josh Berry. I thought I saw him in that turn 1 checkup, but his hood looks really wrinkled here.
Well, if you go back to a year ago, Josh Berry, he was involved in an accident on lap 1, really didn't get the experience he needed, and there is confirmation that Tire Pro Chevrolet is all beat up. You know, his teammate Justin Allgaier, one of those that had to start in the rear, so Junior Motorsports fighting an uphill climb early.
And you watch them go through the S's there now. Remember, there's a rule. You can't have 4 tires on the other side of the red and white curves.
Only in the S's.
Only in the S's. Right here at this view, it is okay. But NASCAR is going to be watching that all day long. And if you go too far, you got to pay the price.
And we've seen it. I mean, it happened a couple of times in practice yesterday. And then it was big in qualifying. I mentioned it earlier. William Byron had the fastest lap in the final round. Would have been on the pole, but he cut the corner between turns 3 and 6. His time was disallowed.
It's a ton of damage to Josh Berry's car. You just saw that right in front of Cole Custer.
It's really par for the course, though. I talked about what happened to him here last year. He's had 4 consecutive top 10s this season, really, despite the fact that something has gone wrong each and every week. And this is for second. Sheldon Creed has it, and Ty Gibbs, the reigning champ, getting aggressive.
It's so important to establish track position when you can. When you look at the best road racers, it's not the fact that they go fast. That's one part of it. But the way they race, to me, is what always stands out. How they're able to make passes, make moves, and just move up through the field with a car that's maybe similar on speed to others. Now, it's pretty apparent here that 19 is faster than the 2.
Sheldon's not going to let him have it, but Sheldon was really struggling right there through that long sweeping carousel.
And Gibbs has been very patient here. He's had a few opportunities to really send it down in there. He's been very patient with Sheldon because I think he sees the weakness and knows it's a matter of time. And it's going to be a good opportunity in the 1 here for him.
Yeah, getting some good advice from a spotter there to be patient.
Right side. Right side. Clear. Clear.
Textbook move. We talked about it at the start of the race. Turn 1, one of the best passing zones on the racetrack.
But look, he's already almost 3 seconds behind race leader AJ Allmendinger. So you get held up, you pay the price. Josh?
Yeah, and a tough break for the 8 car of Josh Berry. And Adam, you talked about the fact that he had damage to the front of his car early last year. It seems like the same thing happened again. The team thinking it was contact with the 17 that put damage on it. And I talked to Josh Berry earlier about it, and he said, hey, I feel much better this year about my car and everything heading into this race. We just need a clean race. And there you see it right there. Contact with the back of William Byron's car. It's deja vu all over again for the 8.
And I'm not so sure William Byron didn't get into the back end of the 98 of Riley Herbst. Let's keep an eye on that 17. Very fast yesterday, but not climbing early as I would have anticipated. So we'll see what they do over the long haul.
Yeah, Byron, to me, was one of the favorites coming into the race. We know the Gibbs cars, you know, the 19, the 18, really good cars that are going to be tough to beat. But this 17 car, they put a lot of effort behind that with the Hendrick effort. And I would expect, William Byron's a great road course racer, too. So I would expect him to climb to the field here.
And you ask, is AJ running hard? Well, I think so. His tires are smoking down into the corner. He's running hard. Look at him work away in here. One thing you notice about AJ, too, he shifts a lot. Where other drivers are willing to leave it in a gear and maybe bounce it off the rev chip a little bit, AJ seems to always grab that gear and get a little bit extra and do the extra shifting, the extra work for the speed.
But the shifting today, different than what we'll have tomorrow in the Cup car. I mean, he's going back and forth. How challenging is that, Brad?
So what makes this really hard to the fans at home, between the Cup car and Xfinity cars, completely different gearbox. In the Cup car, we run a transaxle versus standard transmission that you'll see in these cars here today. And the way they shift is so much radically different. These cars here have an H pattern 4-speed transmission. So you'll see them shift first, second, third, fourth in that H pattern. Now the Cup cars have a 5-speed transmission that's sequential, so it goes up and down with the rod. So really easy to get confused between the two if you're not paying close attention. And that'll be something to look out for in today and tomorrow's races.
This is the driver's eye camera on board Riley Herbst, working on a streak of 8 consecutive top 10s dating to last year. Said they weren't where they wanted to be in practice. Good qualifying run. Started 7th earlier today. We're 4 laps in at Circuit of the Americas. You know, A.J. Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs have combined to win 10 of the last 14 on road courses. So it's fitting. They're 1-2 early this afternoon. It's a great day in Austin. Working lap 5 of 46 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Circuit of the Americas with Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. I'm Adam Alexander. So far, it's been A.J. Allmendinger in command of this race. 3.5-second advantage over second place Ty Gibbs. Sheldon Creed third. The rookie Sammy Smith is fourth. And a nice day going for Austin Hill. 3 wins this year for the driver out of Georgia. And hey, we had some big names starting at the rear. Plus 13 for Cole Custer. Had some brake issues after making it to the final round of qualifying yesterday when they fixed their problem. Unapproved adjustment. But he served notice he is fast and not too far behind him on this list. Justin Allgaier plus 9, another driver that's come from the rear today.
Cole Custer, a very strong road course racer. Nice run here last year with 3rd place finish. He's looking for 2 spots more. His work cut out for him here at the start, but doing a good job.
Give a call to Jeb Burton, running 11th. And he had a top 10 going here last year until he was penalized for cutting the course in the S's. And right behind him, Sam Mayer looking for his first career win, driving the one for Junior Motorsports.
You talk about cutting the corners. This is kind of the area we're talking about. These are the corners that NASCAR is looking for. Turn 3, 4, 5, right there, and then this last one right there to the right. Those are the corners that NASCAR is looking at. You can't have 4 tires on the other side of red and white. After that, have at it. They can cut them as much as you want. And you see that as they come into turn 9 here, you're going to see 4 tires up underneath that curb all the way into the dirt. So where you can take advantage of it, you'll see the drivers definitely take advantage of every piece of real estate they got.
And I think it's important for the fans at home to explain why those corners, why not the other corners, Joe?
Well, if you straighten those areas out, you can carry so much more speed into those S's. And, you know, at some point you got to draw the line of, oh, when is too far, right? Our cars can absorb curbs very well, where other sports cars and road course type cars can't run over those curbs quite like that. But our cars, we can monster truck right over those things. And so you got to draw a line somewhere before we just go straight through all of it.
How about a 2-for-1 here? 3 wide into the corner. Justin Allgaier said, I'm going to get me some. That's his teammate Miguel Paludo in the 88, and the 07 Carson Hocevar making his first career start today in the 07 for Bobby Dotter.
Those are the best moves. When you get a twofer down into the corner, get 2 of them for the price of 1 in one corner. It's the most efficient way to pass.
It's a BOGO, right? A buy one, get one for Justin Allgaier. Daniel Hemrick, John Hunter Nemechek.
Ooh, looks like Daniel got a little bit free. Slides up into John Hunter. Says, hey, I need a little more room. Oh, I need a lot more room.
Yeah, 2 times. He had a lot of wheel hop. Go down in the corner, and as I said, big braking zone, and a lot of times it's kind of like, I'm going to brake after you. That's what some people do when you go into these braking zones and you're going to pass. They just, wherever you brake, I'm going to go a skosh further and try to outbrake you. Well, and then you start getting yourself in trouble, wheel hop, and once the wheel hop starts and you see the rear tires of Hemrick's car bouncing off the ground, you have to release the brake. You have to find ways to keep the rear end of the car settled back down, and at that point,
now you're too fast.
You're going too
release
fast.
The brakes, yes.
And you're just in trouble. Yeah, it's not good.
If you're watching the scoring pylon and you don't see your favorite driver, it might be because they've been penalized. We've had a couple for shortcutting the S's. 39 of Ryan Sieg. He was 23rd. We also got the 44 of Sage Karam. So both those drivers had a pass-through penalty.
And NASCAR doesn't want to penalize cars and drivers. I think that's something to say. At one time, you know, a couple years ago, we used to have strips there, so you couldn't run down. You know, Joey talks about how these cars run through the curb so well. And because of that, NASCAR came up with what were called the turtles. The problem with the turtles is they were completely destroying the race cars. So, you know, this is the compromise that I think the teams in NASCAR came up with. I don't know if there's a perfect solution, but we're trying our best here.
Last week's winner, Austin Hill, 5th right now, Josh.
Yeah, and Austin Hill having a great season so far, but not feeling great going into this race about the car or the handling right now, coming over the radio, saying he's having an issue going from first to second gear. And remember, this is a guy that was runner-up here last year, so he knows he's strong, but still not completely happy with the way that car is right now.
And just lost a position. William Byron is on the move and trying to bring Parker Kligerman with him. 48-21 at the front last week to end the race at Atlanta, and they're racing for position here. And all of that happening 13 seconds behind A.J. Allmendinger, who's been dominant early in this race. Started on the pole, lost the lead in turn 1, but hung right around, eventually passed Sheldon Creed for the top spot, and he's led every lap since.
He's driving away. He's stretched that lead out to almost 5 seconds now, as you can see on the ticker on the left between him and Ty Gibbs in second. So I think A.J.'s got some speed here for sure.
We've reached the halfway point in our opening stage. A.J. Allmendinger in front of Ty Gibbs, Sheldon Creed, Sammy Smith, and William Byron. The 2017 champ is now inside the top 5.
There's a thin line in the NASCAR Xfinity Series between winning and losing, between being the future and being past, between headlines and tailspins, between making history and being it, between the sweet taste of victory and the fumes of defeat. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, there's a thin line between being a name they know and being a name they'll never forget.
iPhone 14 Pro?
Unbelievable camera. Switch to T-Mobile and get one on them. Do you have T-Mobile?
Well...
And you get Apple TV Plus included. Got that?
Well...
I love Ted Lasso. T-Mobile also gives you MLS Season Pass. Do you get all that?
Well...
Join T-Mobile and get the powerful iPhone 14 Pro with Apple TV Plus and MLS Season Pass on the Apple TV app. All on us.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul, or tow. Just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough, and it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours.
Here's a little tip for all you aspiring fishermen. The easiest way to catch wild, humongous, already deep-fried fish is with $5 in your wallet and a brown paper Arby's bag. Arby's, we have the meat.
In 3 weeks, The Real Deal is back with a new season of the USFL. Reborn from the OGs, this is Driving's USDA primetime football. Just ask these guys.
You better recognize the real.
Except no substitutes. The USFL. New season begins April 15th on Fox and NBC.
Much has changed over our 75 years. But the one thing that never does, that feeling you get when the race begins again.
Under caution here at Circuit of the Americas, the 07. That's Carson Hocevar, said earlier, making his first career start. Blaine Perkins and SS Greenlight Racing parting company this week. So bring in Carson Hocevar, who ran the Craftsman Truck Series race earlier today. Been a tough day for him. He was 34th in trucks, spun into the gravel trap, and really never was able to get it going from there. And now early problems in the Xfinity race, and now we're going to start to see our first wave of potential strategy.
Oh, wow, a lot of guys coming.
Pit road is open, and they are heading down, Regan.
Well, Adam, this was a scenario a lot of teams talked about, wondering if we would get this caution right about now, and they mostly said they would come to the pits. The 17 car of William Byron, of course, on the pole for tomorrow, but getting some extra laps today. His race car a little bit free with the rear of it right now, and the 19 car of Ty Gibbs also a little bit free with the rear, a common theme up down pit road. Josh?
One update of the 2 of Sheldon Creed electing to come in now and get those 4 tires and fuel. Been feeling good about his road program with that team so far, and a strong run so far for the 2.
Everyone that pits here, and this is, back to the strategy thing that Regan was talking about, you're trying to get in these windows. You pit here, you're in a window then to do it on one more stop, just to confirm everything we're talking about strategy-wise. And Austin Hill, who's been having some problems shifting, +4. Great pit work there. Gibbs second off pit road. And we'll follow up with how everything else shook out in the pit lane when we return. 6 to go, stage 1. We've wrapped up caution number 1 here at COTA. 8 drivers elected to stay on the racetrack and not pit. Among them, the driver that's dominated, A.J. Allmendinger. He will restart on the front row here with Parker Kligerman. And we will be at 5 laps to go in the stage when we return to the green flag.
And you thought the initial start was crazy. Wait till you watch this. You got cars with older tires up front. You got cars with new tires behind them that are going to be aggressive. They're already aggressive before they even get to the braking zone as they're 5 wide again into this corner.
Yeah, what I'm looking at here is Ty Gibbs. He is the furthest car forward with new tires, and he's getting used up off of turn 1, 4 wide. That's going to allow Sheldon Creed here to roll his outside. Now he'll be the first car, I believe, on new tires.
Keep rolling. You're good. Down to 2. Just 1 out.
Really, new tires should be a huge advantage for his first few laps on restarts if you can get clear of the traffic. So the first guy to break through has a shot to run down A.J. Allmendinger here and win the stage.
And those new tires are worth a lot, but when you get into these S's here and there's other cars around you, there's nowhere to really go. You have all this potential in your car, but you're stuck. You're stuck behind cars, and you got to wait till you freeze up a little bit, and you can outbrake them here into the 11 here the next corner.
I like what I see him out Sheldon Creed all the way up to 5th already.
What do you have, Coleman?
Hey, Adam, I've made my way over here to turn 1, the primary stand. That restart was nuts. You guys seen it on TV. The things as a spotter you got to be looking for is, 1, where's that first row of tires? You've seen Sheldon Creed make the big move to the bottom into turn 1 right there. That's going to happen all day. What's hard about this view right here is it's really hard to tell as they crest the hill exactly how many cars are to your left and right. So what Sheldon Creed did right there was awesome. He did one extreme or the other. He went all the way to the bottom. He knew no one could get to his inside, and that's why you see him making forward progress now.
That's good stuff. I mean, turn 1 strategy as a driver is pretty important. And, the further to the left you get, it's good, but the corner gets really, really sharp. And you almost got to back up to get around the corner. It gets really, really sharp because you get pinned on the exit as well. So you just got to be smart about how you get through all that. And, you want to be aggressive and get the move done, but you also got to have a car to finish the race with.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's pretty tricky.
And we're still pretty early in this race.
In this strategy, Brad and I were talking about it a little bit during commercial. You see A.J. Allmendinger, he stayed out. Most of the other really fast cars that were in contention all pitted there. I don't blame them for doing that because they realize how fast A.J. is. Let's just do something different, and maybe at some point we can bury the 10. I think that's what they're hoping.
Well, and whenever he does pit, I mean, he's going to lose a ton
there we
of
go,
track
Sheldon.
position here.
Sheldon taking another look here at the spotter's view with Coleman Presley. You see Sheldon Creed trying to get up to 3rd here on Riley Herbst. And he's going to get it, too. All of that was set up with that turn 1 move we were just talking about.
Turn 1 a little bit.
I would say Sheldon Creed's trying to get up, win a stage for a 2nd consecutive week. He beat his teammate to the line by a nose last week in Atlanta, but the caution had come out. And so Austin Hill, if you were with us last week, was actually awarded the win in stage 1. Sheldon Creed had it taken away, but got a fast car right now. Up to 3rd.
We see the 18 and the 17 maybe get together here.
Run out of room.
Looks like turn 11. A really fast, high-speed straightaway. You got to slow it down for that corner.
Hey, give a call to Justin Allgaier. He took advantage of that mishap on track He now finds himself up inside the top 10. He's one of those drivers that pitted, so he has his tires after starting in the back. This is a nice little rally early in stage 1 for the 7.
Yeah, if you can start in the back and get stage points in the first stage,
that's pretty good, Joe.
That's a win. You take that, and then you try to keep moving forward. You see some damage, though, to the front of that car. Obviously, a lot of that happening in the stack-ups in the turn 1, 11, and 12.
Regan?
Well, and Adam, just to add on the 7 of Justin Allgaier, a number of cars complaining about forward drive, complaining about the rear of the car being too loose. He is one of the guys, though, that has been happy. One of the first comments he made on the radio, my car has good forward drive. If I'm his crew chief, I am very happy hearing that early on.
Well, and he's a driver that needs a good run here today because he started 2023 with 3 consecutive podiums. Last 2 weeks, had a DNF and did it at Phoenix after winning both stages. So he wants something good to happen, and he's making it happen here. Getting another spot, goes around Chandler Smith, the rookie driver for Colleague in the 16.
Yeah, and he just powered by him. That was really impressive. That car looks super strong, like Regan was saying. He's got a lot of rear grip, allows him to really attack the corner on entry and on exit.
You know, damage on his nose. You know, last week in Atlanta, we'd say that's the death penalty, right? But for him, I think it's able to allow him to, you know, get away a little bit more with the road course here.
I don't know what's going on with my first and second gear shifting. I've missed it 3 times now. It just like goes to neutral. Not really sure what's going on. I've never missed a shift this many times in a race, so it's really weird.
That could be frustrating. There's going to be a lot of shifting here all day. That makes for a long race, and you really need first gear at this track. A lot of slow speed sections, and that downshift from second to first, and even that upshift from first to second, really critical to making lap time here.
Does it make it even more physical when you're fighting that in the car? I mean, you're getting thrown around, and there's so many physical components to this race. I'm guessing that makes it even worse, right?
Oh, absolutely. We talked about how physically of a demanding racetrack this is. You're constantly getting after. Coleman was talking about that earlier. It's hot out.
Oh, and he's going to get that spot back. That's right where he shifts Joey into second. He had just passed Chandler Smith. It would not shift right there, and he's going to give those 2 spots right back.
Yeah.
And there you kind of get an idea of what momentum means, because you lose it off the corner and then they really take advantage of you down the straightaway, and the climb continues for the 2 of Sheldon Creed. He gets by Parker Kligerman. Now keep in mind, they're on a different strategy here. Creed came down pit road lap 8. He's got fresher tires, and with that pass, he's now 3 seconds and some change behind race leader A.J. Allmendinger. Will be 2 laps to go in the stage this time around.
And Joe, you were talking about for Austin Hill, you know, how big of a physical challenge this is, and then you have the shifting go on top of it. How about the mental challenge, right? You know, you're trying to race the traffic here, Joey. You're trying to race the racetrack, and it's just another distraction for you when the car won't shift properly.
It's tiring. It's a tiring race. There's no ifs, ands about it, right? It's a very challenging racetrack. You're getting bounced around on all these curbs. You're hustling as hard as you possibly can to make speed, pass cars around you, keep up with the strategy. That's another piece of the strategy here too, guys. Like when your crew chief's able to get you track position, maybe by staying out and getting on older tires or whatever that may be, you can't afford to make a mistake and lose that track position. It's almost a double negative. Now you've stayed out, you have less fuel, and you didn't maintain your track position. So those guys that stayed out on this last caution, it's so important for them to just manage the race of what they got. You lose too much, you still got to pit, your game's over at that point.
Well, we were on board with Riley Herbst. You got Parker Kligerman. There are a number of series regulars up there that need points, that didn't pit. As you said, you got to stay up there to take advantage of what's right in front of you.
And something I'd say here, A.J. Allmendinger's really fast. He's had a 3.5-second lead pretty much since we've been at this point of the racetrack. Last lap when Sheldon was able to take the second spot. He's still able to just keep ripping on older tires.
How long does he keep going? Stage is going to end in a couple of laps, but the caution will not come out. How far will he run it? Maybe we should ask Chris Rice.
Let's do it. Chris Rice, Joey Logano in the Fox booth. You got us?
Yeah, 10-4. How you guys doing?
Well, you're even more relaxed than we are up here, considering how fast AJ is out there on old tires, really not even giving up any time to the second place car in Creed. Obviously, a little different strategy call. Seemed like everybody did something different than you guys. I don't blame them because you're so fast. That's what I'd want to do, is something different. What are you guys thinking? You're going to have to pit here soon, right?
Yeah, we have to pit soon. You know, Alex Yant's late model racer, right? And we've talked about this a bunch. And I said, hey, man, this is the time to run your own race. And we're going to run our own race and do our own thing and let AJ handle it. You know, he's probably one of the best that's ever been, and that's what's key. You know, so is making sure that AJ can do his thing. He's amazing, and he makes our program so much better. But, yeah, we'll be pitting here shortly, so it ought to be fun to watch anyway, right?
I'm sure you're going to get them stage points. Have a good one, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
You know, he brings up an interesting point, talking about calling strategy, and the crew chief is Alex Yantz. And, you know, AJ was on Race Hub this week, and he talked about the pressure that comes with running a road course because the expectations are so high. And Alex Yantz, the crew chief, told me in the garage this morning, the pressure's up for all of us. We're all aware of of what it means to have to go out and perform at these road courses for AJ, and this is something. Fourth on back, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, and Riley Herbst in the 98.
Great racing here, Adam. They've got a couple cars here with older tires than others, and they're all kind of converging here with the 98 car having stayed out. Of course, you're seeing Ty Gibbs, William Byron slowly make their way up to the front. They didn't have the best restarts. Neither of those two cars did. Sheldon Creed kind of got away from them, but they're making their way through the field now.
And you bring up a solid point there, Brad. That's the difference of having the big restart that Sheldon Creed had. And we already talked about how good of a restart he had the initial start. He did it again the second restart, and that's why you see him only 3.5 seconds back or so from AJ. And you look at Ty Gibbs, 7.8, William Byron, 8.1.
4 or 5 seconds.
It's a big difference just getting through a couple cars earlier, and you're really able to stretch that gap.
AJ Allmendinger leading by almost 3.5 seconds. What's he saying?
Frankie, you want me to scream at you so you feel at home?
That's great. That's great. I feel like I'm on vacation.
Do you have your shirt off?
I do. All I have is the sleeves that I have on protecting my arms, and then I have no shirt on and no shoes.
Well, I mean, you can talk like this when your car's really fast. You can afford to be on vacation, I guess, but don't let your guard down too much because things happen quick. We've seen this in NASCAR plenty of times. You can have the dominant race car, and before you know it, something changes very, very quickly as we're coming to the final lap in this stage here.
Does it not feel weird that we're coming to the end of a stage and there will be no green-white checker flag and there will be no caution? I mean, this feels so odd to me. I feel like we've gotten in such a rhythm of doing it, but it's the new rule, the new setup on road courses to help open up the door when it comes to strategy.
And it's about to change here, too, because when the 10 pits, think about how much time he's going to lose. He's going to bury himself like almost at the very, very back, right? It's a long pit road. He's got to make his pit stop. You know, we're talking, I don't know what it is, maybe 40 seconds or so, right?
On pit road. So, you know, just doing a quick look through the field, that's going to easily drop him outside the top 20. And I'm just wondering, Joey, how much longer is he going to stay out?
Well, right now he's really not giving up any time, right, to those guys. So I think you run it as long as you possibly can at this point, right? I mean, he's actually pulling away from Sheldon Creed at the moment. So if you're able to do that, I think you run it as long as you can and then pit.
Chandler Smith coming down pit road.
And his teammates making a pit stop. AJ Allmendinger has won stage 1 at COTA for a 3rd consecutive year. Creed, Kligerman getting points. Riley Herbst did. Talked about Justin Allgaier. Brandon Jones needed points and was able to get them. Same for Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer. He wins the stage and keeps on digging.
Yeah, you have to think he's going to come next time by, wouldn't you?
That was the plan for most people. Run it through the stage, get the points, and then pit. But, you know, as we all know, the minute you try to predict what's going to happen from a strategy perspective in one of these races, you are out to lunch because everything seems to change with the flow of the race. I'm anxious to see if they do what we expect them to do and what the plan was this morning in the garage for Alex Yantz and that bunch.
So let's talk about that. Why is the pit strategy, why does it change so much? And there's a number of reasons for that. One, you've got a car that's dominant. So if you do the same things he does, as Larry Mack would attest to, you're probably not going to beat him. So you're going to have
follow
to
the leader. You're going to follow the leader
all day long.
My favorite line.
The other thing is you get these little variables that change the optimum strategy. A yellow comes out on a specific lap, and that can change everything. Most of these teams, especially in the Cup Series garage area, have a pit road simulation that will actually tell them when is the best time for them to pit. and they will run through all of these different scenarios to try to help them make these decisions easier. And they're going to use those things to their advantage. And so when we try to map out these races, that's why it's so hard for us as A.J. Allmendinger pits, because there's so many pieces you can't see, and they all aggregate together to make an optimum strategy.
Stays out through the stage, gets the win. As we said, 3rd consecutive year. He's won the opening stage, and then he pits. And those drivers that stayed out with him coming down pit road as well. Maybe not all of them, but a handful. Here they are, Regan.
Well, the plan for the 98 car, Riley Herbst, from the start of the day was to pit whenever they got the stage points, and at the end of the stage, they wanted to make sure they got some of those. That worked out. Josh?
Well, the plan for the 9 of Brandon Jones, who started deep in the field, was to get those stage points, got those much-needed stage points, and then the plan is to come in and pit. As far as the 10 of A.J. Allmendinger, another stage 1 win here for him at COTA. Had a strong car so far and has led 14 laps.
All this cycles through. Sheldon Creed is the new man on point. Parker Kligerman scored in 2nd. He is yet to make a pit stop. But right behind him, you know, would be 2nd place William Byron. 3rd place would be Ty Gibbs. You got Justin Allgaier there. These are the drivers that pitted at lap 8. They will cycle through to the front as a host of drivers have made pit stops, and we anticipate Parker Kligerman will be down fairly soon as well.
You know, and A.J. Allmendinger just made that pit stop, and this is what we talked about, right? Eventually, you got to pit and put gas in it, right? You got to take the hit, and now he's pretty much gone to one of the last cars in this line. Now he's going to have new tires. He's going to make quick time of passing these guys, as you see, but he's going to have to work a little bit to get through that. Yes. And I guess he hopes runs long enough that everyone else pits.
Yeah, he needs this to go at least another 8 to 10 laps so that the other cars have to pit as well. That's what I see here, Joey. And if that doesn't happen, that might not be so good for him. But you see, he's working his way through the field. The leader of the race pitted under green. A.J. Allmendinger, he came out 27th. And he is a long ways back from Sheldon Creed, over 30 seconds.
If you were doing an average of his lead throughout the early portion of the race, it was right around 3.5 seconds. He's now 35 seconds behind the race leader, Sheldon Creed, about a half a second in front, 2 seconds rather, in front of Parker Kligerman.
So he needs a green flag run here. He's hopeful for 10, 15 laps as you see Parker pitting this time by. If he doesn't get that, it's going to put him in a lot of trouble and buried in the field.
Scheduled green flag stop for Parker Kligerman, Regan.
Adam, it's been a great start for Parker so far today. Some handling issues yesterday in qualifying and practice with that car. No comments on that today, though, with the front end bouncing. It's been much better so far. Lap time's very good, even on those old tires, so they stand on 1 extra lap before they came in.
I'm not sure I understand the staying out 1 extra lap. I don't know if it's a mileage thing or what, but I always feel like if you're going to leave me out like for a few laps to where I have a real tire advantage. If not, you just lose some track position, from cars going faster for 1 lap, and then you don't have really a big enough tire advantage to get them back. Like, if you're going to leave me out there for a long time.
How about the leader, Josh?
Yeah, Sheldon Creed told me before this race that he did a ton of research and studying to make sure he got his road course program much better. He's feeling good about what he's got. The team just told him to back up his entry into turn 11. That's where he's losing some time right now. But the thing for Sheldon, he told me right now the 21 team, his teammate is kicking their butts. Austin Hill has those 3 wins on the season. So a question for Brad and Joey, have you had a teammate that's been kicking your butt, and how'd you respond to that?
Now that's a mean question,
Josh.
Josh.
It's never happened to me, Josh.
Well, I'd say Austin Cindric kicked my butt today in qualifying, so yeah.
The issue
let's talk about this car here.
Preston Pardis in the 50. He's been penalized a couple of times today for cutting the course down in turns 3 to 6, and now he's parked it.
This is probably going to bring
out the top of the hill. Yeah, I mean, that's where Carson Hocevar was. There's no way he can get back around, and we get our second caution.
Now, this is interesting on the strategy side of what these other cars are going to do now.
I'm not going to predict. I'm going to wait and let them figure it out. Everybody's made a pit stop. Sheldon Creed, your race leader, second caution. Well, it's been a great weekend for NASCAR here in Austin, Texas. They built Circuit of the Americas over 10 years ago. All the big motorsports organizations have been here. And I won't say the third time's the charm, because every time we come here, it's magical, and it gets even better tomorrow. NASCAR's Top Shelf taking on COTA. Coverage begins on FS1 with race day at 2, over to Fox at 3 o'clock Eastern time. William Byron racing today, on the pole tomorrow. There goes Preston Pardus to the garage.
Starting to see a lot of mechanical failures here. Preston Pardus looked like he had a mechanical into turn 1. Of course, we saw Carson Hocevar earlier in the race. He's had a bad weekend. 2 mechanical failures on his truck and now the car. And even our points leader in the garage as well with transmission issues, it sounds like.
Austin Hill had to go to the garage. Yep, he was having that shifting problem. Eventually took it to the garage. We'll keep you posted on his situation. We were talking during the break, and I'm looking at this race from the perspective of A.J. Allmendinger, who's the clear favorite. And I'm like, man, he pitted after everybody else. He lost all that track position 35 seconds back. I'm like, man, his caution's good. We tighten up the field. He can go get a bunch of positions. And the 2 drivers in the booth say, no.
I mean, I think he wants to keep going and keeping it green. And a lot of it depends on what's about to happen right here. Are these guys going to pit or stay out? Looks like they all stay out. And that is what's going to hurt AJ. Yes, you may think he's closer and he closed up that 30-second gap. But now he's in that situation into turn 1 that we've been talking about since the beginning of this race. The restarts, the damage that Josh Berry got, the damage that a lot of these cars got, all happened on the restart into turn 1. And AJ is he's in the zone, right? He's in a scary place to be where he can have the fastest race car and get wrecked right here, possibly. Hopefully not.
Coleman, how nervous are you as we watch Josh Bilicki having a problem there and getting a push? How concerned are you if you're the spotter for A.J. Allmendinger in this situation, the restart coming up?
Well, here's my biggest concern right now. The good thing about road course racing, we can do quickie yellows, 1 opportunity to pit. The bad news is, as the field splits, you can't necessarily go off your timing and score and what's in front of you of your position. You've literally got to count cars as they come by you in turns 1 and 2. Then, as we get 1 to go in turn 5, you got to relay that information over to your turn 9 spotter to make sure he does an accurate count for the choose. We do not want to give up a spot for the choose. You know, talking about A.J. Allmendinger, he's already buried. The last thing he wants to do is give up a row on the choose because his spotter counted wrong. So my job right here from the primary stand is to make sure I get my count right, and then on top of that, relaying that to my secondary spotter to make sure he can do the choose correctly.
Oh, that makes me really nervous about tomorrow. There's a lot going on while I'm just riding under caution here. And not to mention, what if a car has a penalty and has to drop to the back? Then it messes your count up again to try to figure out the choose, right? And guys, everyone watching, the fans, it's not the driver that really makes the call, right? I mean, they may have an idea of what they want to be, like I want to be on the shortest lane, or I want to be maybe in the preferred lane and I'm willing to give up a row to do that. But the driver can't see all the way to the front and be able to count how many cars are in each lane so he chooses the right one. He relies on the spotter a lot. And the spotter's information this week is not off of timing and scoring. It's off of the human element of counting as they pull up to the choose right here.
You give the 1 to go at turn 11 here at COTA, and then the choose, you see it right there, between 11 and 12.
So inside's generally the preferred lane here at COTA, although I say that and Ty Gibbs picks outside from the 3rd position.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I didn't see that one coming.
Once we choose, remind you to stay hard.
So let's talk about, Joey, real quick for fans. Why do we do this? What's the reason for this?
Well, this takes, to me, the luck element out of racing. I hate when something comes down to luck. I want to be in control of every situation that we can be. And when we were racing in the past, before the choose rule, it was, you know, 3rd place was on the inside, 4th place here, right? And then just get all the way back. Now you have the opportunity to pick where you want to be. And there's no luck that's involved with that. It's all your choices, your decisions, and there's no excuses, right? And it definitely eliminates the excuse of, I just had 4 non-preferred lane restarts. Well, now that's up to you, bud. And I like that. I love that we have this at every racetrack now.
First time that we've done it on a road course this weekend. Sheldon Creed leading, problems for his teammate in the garage. Give us the report, Josh.
Yeah, it's been a tough weekend all the way around for your points leader of Austin Hill. He had issues in practice with rear grip, and then today more problems getting from first to second gear. And then after that, he said it felt like the car was cutting on and off on him, and then he had to retire. Felt like it was going to blow up. Retired with a motor issue, so a tough break all around for Austin Hill.
And that probably came from missing so many gears.
Yeah.
It probably did some damage to the engine as he's missing gears and over revving the engine. And then it's just one thing after another, unfortunately.
Tough day. He's had a great season so far, though, so nothing to be ashamed of here.
I can't wait to watch A.J. Allmendinger here. And how, we talked about it in the Open. The balance of patience and aggression. We're going to find a lot of that out from A.J. right here, huh?
A.J. doesn't have a balance.
I was going to
say,
here. His meter's broke.
I got to be honest, my eyes are on the 19 car. I think we've seen the lead get taken from the 4th place on the start. He must be, he's got something on his mind here.
7-0-0 starting up front. Second and third in the inside lane. They both came from the rear at the beginning of today's race. Sheldon Creed gets us back under the green flag. About a third of the way through our second stage.
Great launch by Sheldon Creed. Really got through the gears fast. Oh,
Justin Allgaier, welcome to the party. And a big spin top of the hill.
Oh, and
Eric Almirola around, and there is exactly. I got to tell you, I was rooting against you guys on that. Here he is, turned around.
Chris Rice not happy, understandably so. This is just part of the deal. This is what happens. This is why Fox puts drivers in the booth for these races, so we can try to tell you, Adam.
But hey, I'm going to tell you, and I'm not trying to sell my strategy over yours at all. But I will say, day not over yet. Long way to go. Long way to go.
He still has 27 laps to go, and his car does not look damaged. So he's going to need a little break here, but his race is certainly not over, and he's still got a shot at winning this.
He's definitely going to have to drive all the way through. And this is where the races change a lot now, too. Without the stage cautions, your opportunity to move back up through the field, whether it's knowing when there's a planned caution, you can change some things in your strategy a little bit. Now you don't have those planned cautions. It's more just old school, got to be fast to get through. And he has a fast car. He's just, now he's got to come all the way back. He's already 30th, 14 seconds back on the first lap after a restart.
Justin Allgaier was looking for the lead on the restart. He settled into second behind Sheldon Creed. Good racing behind him, Coleman.
Yeah, it is great race. And I want to go back to a point that Joey just brought up. There's no planned cautions. Let me tell you the importance of the 3 spotters that you have here today. If they see something that's going to bring out a caution, if they can relay that to the pit box and let the crew chief make a decision to come to pit road before it closes, that could be your game changer. I know that's one thing we've really focused on this week of talking to all of our spotters. Hey, pay attention. If you think it's going to be a caution, let us know as quick as you can.
Saw the problems for Brandon Jones. Had a tire down, looked like there was some contact. A.J. Allmendinger, 29th, listen in.
What did I say about the outside? What did I say? That you have to listen to me. I know you don't want to listen, but you have to listen to me when I tell you. All right, guys.
Sounds like the crew chief wanted him to pick the outside. Or the inside.
Chris Rice? Or
that was Chris Rice, I think.
I think so. And you know, right, I mean, the outside presents a lot of opportunity to gain a lot of spots. It also puts you in the very vulnerable position, right? When this car is inside of you, you're at their mercy. And if one of them is driving in the corner too hard and washes up or whatever, they're going to get into you. There's going to be a lot of damage here.
Oh, that's a yellow.
Yeah, there's another caution.
Call this one, Coleman.
And there it is. Third one of the day.
Caution's out right here. Caution's out.
Brandon Jones, I mean, his season started out with the top 15 at Daytona, has not been inside the top 15 since.
And he's had a lot of things like this happen all year long.
Yes, I mean, look at his last 3. 21st, 23rd, 19th.
Yeah, it's not from being slow by no means. It's just things have been happening week after week. It's almost like you wonder what's next if you're that driver.
Daniel Hemrick on pit road. I wonder if they were in position to make the pit stop and get on under the yellow before pit road closed. I find it hard to believe that it's coincidental that he's making this pit stop, and we saw the 9 having problems, so maybe they played that game. Here's what happened with AJ.
So somebody gets underneath him. Parker Cleveland gets underneath him. Oh, and it looks like that's Almirola gets spun.
He's just wrong place. Like once Almirola got underneath him into the braking zone,
Yeah, we see Almirola. Wow, they're 5, 6 wide. Oh, boy. You see the 8 car getting spun. He spins into the 08.
Yeah.
We got another car spinning out here. Looks like the 43, maybe.
Yeah, Ryan Ellis. I think that's the radio communication that we were hearing a minute ago from Chris Rice. This is the Celsius onboard camera.
Just not
and
enough
he had to stop
space.
the car, because if he didn't stop, he was going to drive to the front end of Eric Almirola.
By the way, some of that, like, AJ was being pretty cautious.
Yes.
That's what allowed Almirola to get underneath him. Or not, sorry, not Almirola. It was
Parker Kligerman.
Parker Kligerman to get underneath him. And that's what put him in the bad spot, not on the absolute bottom when he got to the curb.
Yeah, you could almost argue he was too cautious trying to take care of the front end.
Right.
This is the Brandon Jones car, and we did get a report, and there you see a little bit of damage on that 10. We did get a report that Daniel Hemrick thought he had a tire going down. That's the reason they pitted. I thought maybe that was that classic road course strategy call. You see a driver having problems, you can get onto pit road before the pit lane closes, because pit road immediately closes once the caution comes out. But if you can pit under yellow and get in before things close up, then that can be a huge advantage when it comes to flipping things and gaining some track position.
Well, this will be interesting, this yellow, to see who pits, who doesn't. We haven't ran a lot of laps, but the way this race is going right now, there's a chance that you could pit here and make it to the end. If cautions breed cautions, if we keep getting yellows, this would be a potential window to run out the race.
Someone to keep an eye on. You guys mentioned Parker Kligerman on that last restart. He's 12th right now. But remember, he ran it a little bit longer. Pitted at lap 16. All these guys in front of him pitted at lap 8. So his tire's quite a bit fresher. And really, when you consider the cautions here, not a lot of green flag laps on those tires. So I would anticipate the 48 could be really quick. And everybody says we're going to stay on track. Halfway through stage 2 here at Circuit of the Americas. Interesting start. Third caution of the day. Sheldon Creed is leading the race. In just 3 weeks, real football for real fans is back. The 2023 USFL season opening kickoff weekend starts the new season on April 15th and 16th on Fox, NBC, and FS1. You know, if you pay your taxes on April 15th, it feels like you're getting hit in a football game. So it's fitting the USFL is back on April 15th. Our friends are here.
Hi, I'm waving back. They can't see us though.
I think there's some relation to the broadcast. Samantha and friends hanging out at COTA. That's how we should do our booth on cameras, you know, just sit there wave and smile. Joey, you could get away with that. Brad and I, not so much.
I like smiling.
Setting us up for a restart here. 21 laps complete, going to lap 22. Sheldon Creed has taken control, and it really came back to that restart, Joey. Right around lap 8 when we had the yellow. He got control of the race, but I got to tell you, I think William Byron is faster. And if this thing runs green for a little bit, I think William can get by him, but we'll be interested to see.
He definitely saw that as they were coming towards the not this caution, the caution right before. It was a longer run. William Byron almost ran down Sheldon Creed, so definitely has a faster car.
Our Toyota GR Super Pace car going to pull to the pit lane and turn the field over to Sheldon Creed and William Byron, a couple of NASCAR champions on the front row. Creed got it done in trucks. Byron right here in the Xfinity Series 2017.
Last restart, we saw Sheldon Creed get that really great launch here. See if he can do it again, Joey.
Pretty good one. Got himself clear before he gets to the braking zone. You see some smoke there behind him. You gonna make it?
They did. 6 wide.
It's unbelievable to me what happens in turn 1 here.
These camera shots from our Fox crew are amazing. I love these views. You really get a perspective of how big the track is and how challenging and technical it is just to make a lap here, let alone with all these cars around you.
And let me say, if you've ever been here, look up from the front straightaway to the top of the hill. it looks like a ski slope. I mean, 130 feet of elevation change from the start-finish line all the way up to the top of the hill in turn 1.
Sheldon got a little loose out of that corner out of turn 8.
Yeah, he's going to start feeling the pressure here from William Byron. We talked about how fast this car was. Compared to Creed's, he's going to apply the pressure quick, right? You want to make the move as quickly as you can before somebody gets gone or another caution happens.
A.J. Allmendinger update. He was back outside the top 30, being scored 19th right now.
Had a real solid restart here. Gained a lot of position. 7 spots. Oh, little contact here through the S's with Josh Berry.
Right, and now you see AJ is below that curb that you're not supposed to be below, but he got forced down there, so I don't know how NASCAR calls that one.
Oh, I don't know if Josh knew he was there. Oh!
Yeah, he definitely didn't know he was there.
That's some contact, guys. That's a muscle move.
That's what we talked about, right? Now AJ, he's getting his car beat up, right? He had the fastest car, and it's nice when it's out front. Is it going to be as fast now that he's going to have some damage? And Riley Herbst comes around on this one, too.
Stock car racing on a road course is it's aggressive and it's very physical. The contact is really required to make moves.
And you hear this, you know, tomorrow you got Jenson Button, you got a lot of these guys that have raced F1, and something I've heard in all their interviews so far is these restarts and the contact of all the, you know, all the videos they're watching to prepare, like they're so like aggressive towards each other and push each other. It's like, yeah, welcome to NASCAR, buddy. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough one tomorrow for sure for everybody. There's always gonna be contact with these big, heavy stock cars.
From the back to the front, Allgaier inside the top 5, just got passed by Cole Custer. Both of these drivers coming from the rear. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised on Custer. 1 year ago in this race, penalized for speeding, lap 27, drove back to a 3rd place finish. Got a good race car. Ryan Sieg penalized earlier for cutting the course. Racing with Miguel Paludo. That's Connor Mozak in the 24. Haven't called his name, and right behind him, Allmendinger. He's up to 14.
Connor's ran a really nice, smooth race. Been watching him a little bit. I'm impressed.
Graduate of High Point University. Majored in entrepreneurship, and man, he's a bright kid and got into racing late, but a noted road racer and feeling right at home here today in the 24 for Sam Hunt Racing. And there's his teammate, the 26 of Kaz Grala. Double duty today, running both trucks and Xfinity.
AJ just got a twofer right there. He got 2 of them in a braking zone. This is where you're going to see AJ Allmendinger shine even more. Right now he's back there. Yes, he has new tires, but what I talked about earlier that makes a great road racer, not just speed, it's the raceability that they bring to the table. How they're able to go through the field so quickly. And the other thing that's helping him right now is his reputation. Right? When there's a driver behind you that's really, really good, you know, it's AJ Allmendinger. Well, he's going to get by me anyways. People aren't really even putting up a fight.
They don't block
They
you.
just let you go.
Yes.
They're like, he's going to pass me anyways. I might as well just cut my losses as they have battling for the lead here.
Well, this is going to be interesting because Sheldon Creed has been very loose through this carousel, Joey.
And
he's got a car on the outside. Yes.
Yeah. William Byron driving the 17, takes over the race lead.
Kind of gives it up.
He's going to cross him back over here. I like this move.
And that's open the door for Sammy Smith. Here he comes in the 18.
Watch him cross over again. He got the inside curve there. It might hurt his momentum. I think it did.
Sheldon Creed able to hang on. Really nice effort for the driver out of California who was being raced by a Cup superstar, and he's able to put him back behind him. And don't look now.
Look out. Here comes
Sammy
18.
Smith driving hard into the corner.
What a save there. You seen him wheel hopping down into the corner there. You knew that was going to be big.
And a little front lockup. You saw a little puff of smoke. And I'll tell you what, Sammy Smith has done an incredible job here today.
He had never been here before this weekend. Never seen this racetrack. And here he is. Starts on the front row.
Running in contention for the lead here in 3rd place.
Running with the guy that just put on the pole in the Cup race today.
Hey, and all of these drivers racing up front in those top 3 positions, that's allowed Cole Custer to reel in the top spot. He's right in it.
I love the fight that Sheldon Creed has right now. He realizes this clean air is worth a lot. And not only if he loses this spot, there's 3 others sitting back there, at least 2, that are going to try to pounce on this. So he needs to fight as hard as he can to keep the clean air. You saw that happen just a few corners ago.
William Byron had a great exit of turn 10 here.
And that's where, like, that distance right there from the 2 to the 17. That's like, can I outbrake him from this far back? Like, it's a couple car lengths. It's going to be tough. Is it worth the shot here? William Byron thinking about it. It's going to show his nose. Not going to be enough.
Just enough to make Sammy Smith think twice about doing that move to him.
Right. It's almost like a defensive play. And then there's another great passing zone as you get through these next 2 corners. It's going to open up into the braking zone. He's really close to him. He's probably going to try to turn underneath him here.
Oh, he is. There you go. Nice call, Joey. A little nudge.
And Sheldon, defensive play, knew it was coming, shadowed up his entry to block that move. And he's making William going to have to use his race car a lot to get around him. You're going to have to get physical. You're going to have to use some tire up to get around Sheldon Creed right now.
And all this again, bringing Cole Custer in a little bit closer. Justin Allgaier driving up. All because Sheldon is playing defense, which he needs to. But he's running slower doing that. And it's bringing the whole field together. Who gets loose here in turn 20? That's going to get William Byron even closer to him again.
Yeah, that might make him close enough to try to outbrake him down into turn 1 here.
Everyone in the top 5 running for the championship in this series, except for William Byron. I mean, does he drive less aggressive, understanding that? Do you realize your place when you're a Cup driver coming over and racing against these Xfinity teams that have an eye on the prize?
No.
Maybe I asked the wrong twos from that question.
You got the wrong team up here for that. I mean, if I'm William Byron, I'm here for a trophy and nothing else.
Exactly. You're going racing. It's time to win. You know, William's a very respectful race car driver, and you see that being shown right now. And he can afford to be patient right now, right? He can afford to not be absolutely crazy, Joey. But it's the time's starting to run out. Like, it's starting to, like, I gotta go. I'm starting to get hit from behind.
It might be if you don't give, you will receive for William Byron.
That's NASCAR racing.
Parker Kligerman is up 6 spots since the restart. He's 6 now. What about that Kligerman car, Regan?
Well, Adam, very fast with that car, and I had mentioned earlier on that he did not have the problems with the front end bouncing around the way that it did in practice. Under that last yellow, though, he reported to the team it was back. The problem with it is the team doesn't want to do much to try and fix it because he has been so fast, not only today, but all weekend long. These road courses and super speedways like what we had last week, a very big part of why Parker is in that car. They felt like he would be very quick at those tracks all year long, as he has been. He's shown it today.
5 to go on the stage. He's running down that lead group. Keep in mind, he's on fresher tires is the 48 of Parker Kligerman.
They're all getting ready to wreck each other, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's battling pretty hard for this stage of the race.
None of them have any idea how to pass at all, other than run into the guy in front of you.
Yeah, it's like go-karts.
I'll tell you who's got an idea how to pass. A.J. Allmendinger.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible the rally he's been able to put on.
26th, just a few laps ago, under yellow. And here we are all the way up to 8th. And these leaders, by the way, are fighting each other very hard. AJ finds himself only 5 seconds back.
Cole Custer roughing up the youngster Sammy Smith, put the double zero to third.
Clear, all clear.
I don't know if that's roughing him up. He kind of got squeezed onto the curb, and Cole held his ground. He said, you know what? No, you're not putting me up on this curb. I'm holding my ground. Here's my right front fender. As they go for the lead here again, William Byron going to try to pull this one off.
I think he's got him here, Joey. Oh, it's going to be tight here in turn 2.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to hang on the outside here.
Oh, he gets loose. He keeps shattering the rear tires.
Oh, this is where it gets tough to go too wide through here. I'm just saying.
Oh, they're going to door.
I think you just answered my question. And keep an eye on the line that Creed took there. These guys are flirting with that out-of-bounds area in the S's.
Definitely flirting, and Sheldon's still not giving it up. And look who's right behind him now, Cole Custer. He's going to try to make a move. Now he's going to have to kind of follow through here, try to make a run off at this corner.
Let me tell you, Cole Custer has rolled his sleeves up inside that race car today.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
just
he got loose right
after.
there. He might have got hit.
Well, he sure did. Looks like the 18 car got him a little bit. Filled the, oh, wow, 4 cars all together.
This braking zone's going to be big here. You got to drive in the corner hard and try to protect your positions. Everyone's driving in hard, wheel hopping.
Incredible racing inside the top 10. 4 laps to go, second stage. William Byron leads now. Sheldon Creed is second. Custer, Sammy Smith, Parker Kligerman. Tremendous battles here.
Allmendinger has gained 2 seconds in the last lap on the leader.
Well, they've been racing really hard, and look at, you see AJ's car back there as he's breaking into 11.
Creed, contact with William Byron.
Creed ain't giving it up, the fight. I love it.
This race for third is great. Custer and Sammy Smith. And now Kligerman is there.
Yeah, don't write him off. Oh, he's going to fill this hole.
How much do those fresher tires make a difference at this stage of the run for him?
It should be. I mean, he's got a good 7 or 8 lap fresher tires. Oh, it looks like something might have happened to Parker up off that corner there, Joey.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Missed the gear or something. He had a nice pass move done there on Sammy Smith. I don't know what happened there.
Ty Gibbs has been very patient behind this group. And his patience has allowed A.J. Allmendinger to get to the back end of them. Allmendinger, another driver on fresher tires than those ones just in front of him.
Now watch Allmendinger get through this field here. He's going to be very strong. Look at already a good run on Ty Gibbs. Going to be able to pull him back. This is side draft. Side draft still works on these. He's trying to pull him back, put air on that spoiler of Ty Gibbs and outbrake him down here into one.
Custer making the move for second place. Sheldon Greed is so good on restarts that if he can just maintain track position, he'll be very tough to beat here. But I just don't feel like he has that long run speed.
Caution's out. Hey, everybody's now, this is for Brett Moffitt. This is the 25. He was having a pretty good day.
This is the great equalizer right here. Everybody can make it from here on fuel. You have to expect the whole field to pit right here. Now, A.J. Allmendinger, I think he's happy again.
Why wouldn't you be?
He's in contention now, right? Again, like he didn't make it up completely. He's not in the lead. Yes, he's got some damage, but he's back up to 7th.
We anticipate there could be some pit stops. We'll see how the strategy plays out. 3 to go, stage 2. Tremendous racing. William Byron leading at COTA.
Yeah, the record man told me so. You'll never get it.
Under caution for the 4th time, NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here in Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. Closing on the end of our second stage. Pit road is open, and we've got a number of cars coming down, Regan.
Well, a great run from the rear at the start of the race for Cole Custer right now. That car is pretty good. He doesn't want to hurt any of his turn, though. Wants a little adjustment to get some rear grip with it. And the 17 of William Byron, his car has been loose the entire race. It got better on the last pit stop, but it was still loose when he got into that battle last time. Wants an adjustment for that, Josh?
For the 2 of Sheldon Creed, who's led 13 laps today, said he just lacks lateral grip and can't push it the way he wants to, especially in turns 11 and 15. So they're going to get him an air pressure adjustment in addition to those tires and fuel. And for 18 of Sammy Smith, same issue. Doesn't have the lateral grip he wants, so they're going to try and help him out as well.
Race off pit road goes to Sheldon Creed. Good work there. +2 for him. Status quo for Cole Custer. Sammy Smith +1. Allmendinger +2 is 4th. John Hunter Nemechek in the top 5 coming off pit road. But hey, a few drivers stayed out, including Parker Kligerman. He's the leader when we come back. As we know, we don't get cautions anymore to end stages, but we're getting ready to have a restart with 1 to go in stage 2. Parker Kligerman is going to be the race leader. Let's check in with Chris Rice. Joey, dial him up.
Chris Rice, Joey Logano in the Fox booth again. You got us?
Yeah, guys, I got you.
Well, you went from chilled out to really angry really quickly. And rightfully so. A lot of crazy things happening. You guys have a fast car. It seems like it is the 10 car versus the field, and everyone's willing to do something different to try to trap you guys back in the pack. Now you're back on equal strategy to the cars that are around you. You got a little bit more damage to the car, though. What are you thinking now?
Well, yeah, we do feel a little bit better, but it's tore up on both sides. It's still fast. It's still A.J. Allmendinger, right? And yes, that's my animation, and I think that's fine. It's a lot of fun to watch me. You know, our guys and girls at Colleague Racing, they work really hard to do all we can do, and I think he's put on a show. I put on a show, so I feel like we're in good shape now on equal strategy. It worked out perfect with this caution, so it's going to be a lot of fun to the end.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a battle to the end. We're excited up here. Good luck.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate you guys.
Restart, final lap of the stage. All different types of strategies going on. Parker Kligerman trying to sneak through with the lead, and he does. Maybe not. Look at this. Here comes the 08 of Eric Almirola. Ryan Segan, the 39 to the race lead. Incredible stuff on the restart.
I think Parker might be having the same problems we saw at Austin Hill. His car won't shift.
There goes Cole Custer.
Oh,
he might be stuck in that gravel.
Yep, through the gravel. And we'll see if he can get it going or if this could produce our 5th caution of the day. He had made the pit stop, was in a great position after starting in the rear at the beginning of the day with a really fast race car. He was being scored 6 when he went for the slide.
And Sheldon Creed again nails the restart. He's in phenomenal position to maybe make this pass on Ryan Siege. And this is exactly what he needed.
John Hunter Nemechek. Haven't said his name a lot today. The Gibbs cars have been fast, and here he is racing Eric Almirola for 3rd.
Spin in the back, Sam Mayer.
Sam Mayer.
We have got action everywhere, guys. We don't even know what to cover on the camera. There is bumping, passing, grinding in this last lap of the stage. What a show.
Final lap, stage 2. Again, we will not throw the caution here for the lead. Sheldon Creed drives to the inside and around Ryan Sieg.
And it's really no fight that Ryan Sieg can put up with that. The 2 is proven to have a fast car, and he has a big-time tire advantage. And it's all the credit here, once again, goes to Sheldon Creed on his restarts. Like you said, Brad, he has been able to just make hay on these restarts and put himself in position right now, looking good to win the race as the caution comes out.
Yep, it will, and that will, I mean, the stage is going to be over now, right? And it's because of Cole Custer could not get out. But I'll tell you what, I mean, if it, bad luck, are you kidding me? It's just unbelievable what's been happening to this team all year.
I don't see him doing anything wrong. I just see bad breaks, like you said, and you have to feel for Cole.
And right there, you're just sitting there in disbelief, you know, and he's been so fast every race, and it's been something.
Let's take a look at this restart here. Parker Kligerman has the lead on the restart. So he gets a little wide here, and the 08's going to come through. Sheldon Creed just, again, phenomenal job here. Middle of 4 wide, clears them all.
Kind of works out. And something happened to Parker Kligerman there. He was in position coming off of turn 1 in the lead, looking like he was going to win the stage. And then it's like he missed the gear or he's having transmission issues, and he lost a ton of track position because of it. Here's a 0-0 going into turn 3. 2 wide with Josh Berry. Just, you know, looked like Josh couldn't get far enough to the left there for him, and you know, there's got to be a little bit of give and take going in there 2 wide.
Thank goodness for the gravel. That would have been a good hard hit.
What about the comeback for Josh Berry? Get stage points after wrinkling up the hood on lap 1. Sheldon Creed, first career stage victory. Ryan Sieg, stage points. John Hunter Nemechek was 3rd. A call to Josh Berry. Sammy Smith and Jeb Burton also get points. Under caution, 5th time today. Tell us what happened here, fellas.
Yeah, right here you see the 17 getting a run down into the corner 3 wide underneath Josh Berry. This is why we thought Josh Berry didn't go far enough to the left. He couldn't. He had the 17 underneath him there, and that's where they ran out of real estate. And unfortunately, Cole Custer was on the receiving end of, to me, just looked like racing.
Props to our camera team, producers, finding a better replay to give context, and that's important. I know sometimes our fans see that and get lost, so it's good to see the real view.
48 making a pit stop, Regan.
Well, Adam, things going from really bad to worse right now for Parker Kligerman. Of course, they stayed out to try and get those stage points. That didn't work out for him, and now he is having trouble with 2nd gear, getting the car into 2nd gear right now. So not the way that they wanted this day to go at the end, as it was pretty quick earlier.
Yeah, this is a team car to the Austin Hill team, and they had the same issue, Joey, with the transmission, where they couldn't get it to go to 2nd gear, and then ultimately it sounded like it turned into engine trouble. Knocked him out of the race.
I will say this for Kligerman, 3rd in stage 1. So he did get some stage points there, which helps a little bit, right? I mean, that's one thing you always want to do is pick up some stage points. So if you do have a problem, you have that to fall back on, salvage today a little bit. And then the 0-0 made the pit stop. They are 1 lap down after being pulled from the gravel. 15 to go. We've reached the final stage. Here are your Toyota top performers. John Hunter Nemechek. Is it crazy or what that we really just haven't talked about him today? And he's 2nd. Right when you need to be in a good position, but really across the board, awesome day for Toyota. All 3 Gibbs cars in the top 8. And give a call to Sam Hunt Racing. Kaz Gralla doing double duty today. Drove for Tricon in the Craftsman Truck Series race earlier. He's in the top 15, and so is Connor Mozak. As we do the choose, it'll be 14 laps remaining.
The choose here today, I mean, it seems pretty 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, no one's willing to give up a row. It doesn't look like. You know, you see everyone inside, outside, inside, outside. No one's willing to be in the preferred lane and give up a row to
there we
be
go.
there.
We got one.
There's a couple there. Oh, there's a lot there.
I don't know if that's giving up a row or that's just indecisive for some people. You know what I mean? Like, well, he's got it made, doesn't he?
In the shade.
Got some snacks. Wearing a Chase Elliott shirt. Chase Elliott is going to be a part of our Cup broadcast tomorrow. Coverage begins here on FS1, 2 o'clock Eastern time with race day. We're over to Fox at 3. And the plan as of now, Chase Elliott joining the program, stage 2, to update us on everything he's got going on. Hope to see him back at the track soon. He won this race, the inaugural event, here at Circuit of the Americas 2 years ago on the Cup side. And where did this come from? Brandon Jones, I mean, just tear the fender off and go get you a top 10. He's going to restart here in the top 10. That's incredible, isn't it?
Nice rebound.
Definitely fighting a lot of strategy, interesting things going on. But you know what? That's perseverance, right? Just keep fighting through it. You never know what can happen in these long races. You got to just keep going. And I got a feeling we're not done seeing contact. 15 to go. The gloves start to come off. And the aggression level goes up even higher than what we've already seen.
This is so nuts to me because the last 2 years here, we've had 4 cautions in each race, and 2 of those were to end the stage. Today, we're not throwing the caution at the end of the stages, and we've already had 5 cautions. And as Joey said, I believe we're not done putting the yellow flag in the air.
What I thought was interesting on the choose is William Byron showed 5th entering it, and he's on the outside lane. So he must have chose outside. We'll see if he can hold off AJ. And Sheldon Creed's had those great restarts all day.
Creed up there with John Hunter Nemechek.
Sheldon with a great launch again. Not surprising. AJ looking for the way bottom. Almirola blocking it, locking the tires up.
AJ got there anyway. Look at him hustle the 10. Allmendinger looking for 2nd, and he's got it.
From 6th before the choose to 2nd. That's why we're talking about this guy so much. I mean, this is amazing. That's really hard to do.
Well, Creed's looking in his mirror and saying, are you kidding me? He's
already
back?
Already? And this is where it's going to get interesting to watch AJ Allmendinger go against Sheldon Creed. We saw Sheldon Creed be ultra aggressive playing defense to try to maintain that lead. Now you have an aggressive race car driver who's really, really, really good. Let's see how this plays out.
And has had a frustrating day.
Yes, on top of it all.
I don't think he's going to show any mercy here.
William Byron looking for a spot. Got it from John Hunter Nemechek. Look at the drivers in the top 10 that have had some kind of a problem today. And the rebound, Allmendinger, Almirola, Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier came from the back.
AJ showed his nose there for a second. And sometimes he might play that game just to get them thinking and overrun the corner, which you see, it worked. Sheldon Creed overrunning turn 12 a little bit.
This is one of the corners that we've heard Sheldon and his team talk about they've been struggling with. This turn 11, 12 combination right here.
And here he comes down into this corner. Sheldon's probably going to try to block it. Yep, see, yeah, he's trying to block it.
AJ's going to muscle him a little bit. It's going to bring William Byron into the equation.
Now, if he can roll the outside of him here, I think that would be pretty impressive.
This is where all the magic happened last year, final lap of the Cup race.
Looked a lot like that, didn't it?
Allmendinger had a front row seat for that, and it didn't work out. And there it is. Contact. Creed goes sideways. AJ Allmendinger takes over the race lead, and William Byron trying to get by. Turn 20, back to the start-finish line.
On your left.
William running him high off the corner there. Here we go, break in.
I can't wait to see this.
This is going to get big, and they're both going to drive in the corner so hard.
William with the preferred lane. AJ's going to try to pull the crossover. Gets to his outside. Little contact.
They try to cross him again here.
Oh, William misses a little bit. Turn 2 gets loose.
Still there. Still there.
And AJ comes through. Oh, my God. This is fantastic racing.
What a day for AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, AJ ran a
Williams
little
going
wide.
to try to fill it.
Now, I ask you guys, how does William Byron race the series regulars? when he's racing A.J. Allmendinger, all bets are off. And that's A.J.'s wife, Tara. I'm not sure nerves describe the look on her face right now. Plenty of anxiety. Yeah, maybe not.
Well, he's got a gap now. He's good.
Yeah, I'm happy now. That was a, you know, let's go back to that move there. We saw the two get punted. Maybe punted's a strong word here. It looked like maybe he got in a little bit. Okay, he got punted. Looks like AJ kind of slid up into him, a little bit of lockup. The two kind of backed the corner up.
And there's a lot of bumps. Listen to the engine here of AJ. It didn't sound like I thought it would sound. But there's a lot of bumps down on the bottom into that corner.
Not as dramatic on the steering wheel as I thought it might be.
Yeah, that's just a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and it's an aggressive race car driver, right? And AJ, and he's really, like I said, he's really good. But when you're very aggressive, this is coming from an aggressive guy, sometimes you just go a little bit too far, and you're like, ah, oh, oops.
And you can't take it back.
You can't, and it's like, ah, it's like the last thing you want to do is wreck somebody. But you got to be aggressive to move through the field and keep going. And unfortunately, sometimes you tag someone.
And I don't think AJ did that on purpose, from what I could tell. I honestly think he was just trying to fill the spot.
By the way, Creed back in the 21st position, was as far back as 23rd. Pretty good save for him as we go to our Toyota onboard camera. Ty Gibbs 5th.
I think Creed's view of that might be a little bit different than ours here.
Well, yeah, I mean, he got dumped. I mean, I don't blame him for being mad. He should be. You know, in AJ's eyes, he had the 17 of Byron right behind him. He has an opportunity to make the pass. He feels like he's got to take the move, and he's got a little too far.
Absolutely.
We got 12 laps to go. We're going side by side. It's Allmendinger, Byron, and then a train of Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas.
Pull up a seat, because in 3 weeks, the real deal is back with a new season of the USFL. Reborn from the OGs. The hits, the picks, the dimes, drive so long you have to stop for gas. This isn't some Hollywood knockoff. This is Dragons USDA prime time football. Just ask these guys.
You better recognize the real.
Except no substitutes. The USFL. New season begins April 15th on Fox and NBC.
Much has changed over our 75 years. But the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops and the crazy journey begins all over again. If you could travel 75 years from now, you might not recognize much at all. But one thing will never change. That feeling you get when the race begins again. And Doug.
Hey, man. Nice base. Clearly you're a safe driver. You could save hundreds for safe driving with Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Woo! We gotta go again.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud.
Ram owners have heart for being fearless, determined, and bold. That's why it's time for you to be a Ram.
Now with 0.9% financing for 60 months, get an average $11,600 in finance savings on our most popular models.
I need to try it first.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out on Fox. This is where MVPs are VIPs. All the swag, all the salt, and all the slams. The biggest games on the best day of the week. MLB on Fox returns next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern.
You saw it while we were away side by side. This race at the front's been really fun.
Yeah, it looks to me like William Byron's car is maybe just a little bit faster, and AJ is doing everything he can to hold him off.
Brakes are going away bad, man. Copy that. Doing a good job here, man.
Brakes are going away, and that's really what's allowed William Byron to be right up on him. And I also see William Byron's car just being better on top of the brakes, is that Willie B is able to get through the turning sections of the racetrack. The S's, the slower part of the S's, the slower part of the stadium section that they're going through right now, that's where you see William be able to really close the gap to AJ and keep applying that pressure, and it's making AJ drive his car really hard. You see him sideways, you see him smoking the tires. This is going to go into the end.
Good battle here for third as well. All the Gibbs cars together. Look at this. 3, 4, 5. You got to think some guys at Gibbs right now are closing their eyes at this moment.
But you can't say enough about Sammy Smith, right? I mean, just delivers each and every week.
This is amazing. First time here. He's running with his teammates. Oh, honestly, he's outrunning them right now at the moment. Super impressive.
2 wins for Joe Gibbs Racing this year. Sammy Smith at Phoenix. John Hunter Nemechek got it done in California. And we go to Richmond next Saturday, where they were 1-2 a season ago. Nemechek and Ty Gibbs.
Nemechek with a sweet crossover right there, trying to run the outside as they go too wide. He's going to give it to Gibbs going into the S's there. Like we said, hard to go too wide into there. Kind of need all the racetrack you can get.
Well, Coleman, 10 laps to go. And we predicted when we got this last restart that the cautions weren't done. And if we get another one, you're going to be able to see it, because from that observation tower, I think you can see Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, you have a spectacular view.
This is the best seat in the house. It's incredible. I've always wanted to come up here and check out a race from this view. You can see it all. You can see it take place. You can see it take place from another braking zone, not necessarily listening to your other spotter paint the picture. One thing I want to talk about here, the other spotters can't see everything. I know last night me and Joey went for a run. Joey looked at each angle of the spotter stand. Talk about how William Byron could maybe use that to his advantage of what you've seen last night and catch a spotter and a driver off guard.
Yeah, I think there's some areas you might can, but I think he's also racing against AJ Allmendinger, and AJ's going to keep those gaps closed up to where it's going to be very difficult for William to make the pass and keep applying the pressure. But talk about a really cool feature here at COTA. That big tower up there, it has a glass floor. You can look at the cars go right underneath you, especially right there underneath the carousel. You see the glass floor up there. I don't feel comfortable being up there. I know that.
Better you than me, Coleman. Thank you for the insights.
250 feet in the air. It's a great view for sure. But update on the run. How did that go? How many miles last night for you and Coleman?
We put in just over 3.
That's good.
Checked out the track, and we jogged it. Well, we walked the track earlier in the day, and Brad, you were out there too. And we got stuck in the pouring rain all the way as far out as we can get, and we were soaked all the way back. But last night was much more enjoyable.
Hey, this is our Monster Energy onboard camera. Riley Herbst trying to make a comeback. He's 12th right now. I mean, you look at the number, starts 12th, gets up to 3rd, and then got spun around, and he's come back from disappointment, just like Brandon Jones. We've talked about his issues, tore that fender off, was 33rd at one time, and now top 15.
You heard that popping noise right there at the end of the straight, the rev limiter kicking in. You hear that a lot on the road courses. Drivers want to use all the RPM range they can use to make maximum lap time, and the engine has a protection mode that kicks in with the rev limiter. Keep it from going too fast.
Sam Mayer, pardon me, Brad, Sam Mayer had a spin. He too has been able to bounce back from disappointment.
He's ran some fast laps. I've been watching him. His last lap was a 217 flat. Our leaders right now, for perspective, are running 215.5s. Most of the field right now is running in the 217, 218s. Our 2 leaders are driving away significantly faster than everybody else, with William Byron and AJ Allmendinger.
Mayer looks really good in the latter stages of this race. Gets by Gralla. He's up to 10th. And now we've got 3 junior motorsports cars up there inside the top 10. AJ Allmendinger leading, 9 laps remaining in Austin, Texas.
I like this too. Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Stacy! I'm the sizzle of this promposal. Tonight, sparks are gonna fly.
Hey, Stacy! Kyle?
And while Romeo over here is trying to look cool, things are about to heat up.
Uh-oh.
Darn it, Kyle! And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you can end up paying for this yourself.
Sorry, Mr. Sanchez.
Really? So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me. That's a hard note.
Okay, cut it.
Ray Magliozzi here. When you need parts, eBay Motors ensures a guaranteed fit. Let's see, you'll need headlights and a bumper. At least you can skip the car wash. Just go to eBay Motors. The check means a guaranteed fit. Let's ride.
Being a NASCAR fan just got even more rewarding with the free Fan Rewards loyalty program. Earn reward points and redeem them for merchandise, tickets, VIP experiences, and so much more. Earn points from the track or at home. Check in on your phone, complete your profile, or play fantasy racing to score your first points. Join and start earning today. Visit NASCAR.com/rewards to learn more now.
This spring, explore everything Fox Nation has to offer for $1.99 a month when you sign up for a yearly plan. Experience new stories that will renew your faith. Get Fox Nation for $1.99 a month when you sign up for a yearly plan. Available for a limited time.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out on Fox. The biggest games on the best day of the week. MLB on Fox returns next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern.
I've said it multiple times. Comebacks have been the theme of the day. Several drivers have been dealt some blows, but they've battled through it and find themselves in a good spot with 8 laps to go. One of those, our race leader, A.J. Allmendinger. You see the car, I mean, tire marks on each side. And we race on the short track at Richmond next week, and a few weeks we go to Martinsville. This car looks like it's been raced at Martinsville, actually.
It pretty much went through it. It's been through a lot of different things, and he's still racing for the win up there. It's definitely been a great race for those guys. They're going to battle it right to the end. You know, that half-second gap or so less. I mean, that's one little mistake away from William being able to pounce. And you see Parker Kligerman. It sounds like he's stuck in a higher gear than he wants to be. When he comes by here, we hear him just slow, stuck in maybe a higher gear. Regan?
Well, Joey, we'll check on Parker Kligerman, what's happening with him. But the 27 of Jeff Burton having a great day right now. Keep in mind, that is not a car that we typically expect, or driver that we typically expect to be up front. But that car in particular that he's driving for Jordan Anderson Racing, the exact same car that Myatt Snyder finished 6th 1 year ago here with, and he also finished 2nd in Portland in the Xfinity race last year. And the one car, Sam Mayer, right behind Jeff Burton, also having a very good day. That car has actually got a different crew chief this weekend. That is not Marty Lindley on the box. Marty Lindley home sick. That is Andrew Overstreet stepping in for him and doing a nice job in a fill and roll.
We wish Marty well. And going back to the 27 of Jeff Burton, Regan mentioned he's driving for Jordan Anderson. That team made their first ever start right here at this racetrack 2 years ago. He started up 2021, qualifying rained out at Daytona. They didn't get in the show. They had no points, and we didn't qualify after that. So they basically were left out in the cold. But you finally got a chance to put it in the show here. They did with Tyler Reddick, had a good finish. He's built that organization now into a 2-car team, and Jeff Burton having a great ride here today. As Regan pointed out, he's inside the top 10. Good job by him.
I can tell you one thing. These 2 drivers right here on your screen, when they get out of the car, they are going to be exhausted. They are running at 100% all they got, right? They're not saving anything. You see the cars sideways. They're working hard, focused unbelievably for a long, long time because they can't afford to make a mistake right now.
And the cars are getting easier to make a mistake on, right? The tires are falling off. You can hear them sliding. I can hear the audio through my ears. The tires are chattering, and you're watching AJ's hands right now. A lot of counter steering where he's turning against the corner, trying to keep the back from spinning out. These cars are getting more and more difficult to drive as the drivers are getting more and more tired. And to Joey's point, this is when it's so easy to make a mistake.
Is this the most mentally exhausting type of racing? I mean, there's some element of that everywhere we go, but is it road racing that challenges you mentally the most?
I don't know about mentally. I mean, everything's a little bit different, right? You can argue that the super speedways mentally are very, very challenging because you have so many things going on around you. But physically, road courses are the most challenging. Your body's getting thrown around a lot. You're working the wheel. You're shifting, or you're not typically shifting that much on other racetracks. Yes, the focus is big, but the physical demand, cars are hot. It's grueling. You know, it's a lot for sure.
Stock cars on a road course are super challenging because the environment is both temperature and you have to counter steer them so much. Most cars that you see on road courses, you don't have to counter steer like you do a Cup car or an Xfinity or truck, NASCAR type vehicle.
Sheldon Creed on the comeback trail. He is 12th, right behind Riley Hurst. For position, Ty Gibbs, the reigning champ, around his teammate, crossover, Sammy Smith.
And they're going to drag race all the way down this long straightaway. Now Gibbs is in not the preferred lane here, but if he can kind of hang on the outside, he might be able to make this work.
Two of the youngest winners in series history.
Clean here, just let your bumper.
Yeah, that's something the spotter said that I think is a really good. He said he's clean. In other words, that if the 18 was going in there smoking tires, wheel hopping, everything, it gives Gibbs the opportunity to open up the wheel and not get hit.
Gibbs up to third. Coming back, be 5 laps remaining for A.J. Allmendinger. We go side by side to break one last time.
Ma, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight?
Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan. Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
exactly like me. I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man.
Hey, what's up?
Houston, we have a situation. How did you get here?
Your character's in our video game.
Video game?
Yeah, it's what we do with Xfinity 10G. It's like, you know, the best network imaginable.
What the heck is that?
Those are the bad guys.
Are they friendly?
The 10G network, only from Xfinity. One giant leap for mankind.
Experience the exhilaration of the Performance line at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
This is Dirt Racer Kenny Wallace. The Dirt Race is back at Bristol in 2023, and once again, it's a night race. It's the Food City Dirt Race, 7 p.m. on Sunday, April 9th. I want to see all my diehard NASCAR and dirt racing fans there. So get your tickets today. Remember, this isn't just any old dirt race. It's a dirt race at Bristol, baby.
Sunday on Fox.
Start your engine! I'm gonna light it up!
The NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Circuit of the Americas. On this road course, every turn is a battle, and every lap a beast. Whoa. All tracks are built to go fast, but this one was born to thrill. The Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix, Sunday at 3 Eastern on Fox.
Next Saturday on Fox, baseball is back, and back with a huge doubleheader. First, Brandon Crawford and the Giants battle Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Then Bryce Harper and the Phillies take on Corey Seager and the Rangers. It all begins next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on Fox. By the way, a little trivia for you. Corey Seager, shortstop for the Rangers, went to high school, Northwest Cabarrus High School, and he was in high school with Bubba Wallace, who will drive the 23 tomorrow. There you go.
How about that?
Connection. Small world.
Connect all the dots. Down to 4 laps remaining. And Allmendinger leads by just over a second in front of William Byron. Allgaier up in the top 5 now.
It's not a comfortable lead. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit better than what it was when William was breathing down his neck, but it's still one mistake away from him being right there in, striking range.
The last lap, William Byron just a touch faster, 2:16.3 to AJ's 2:16.4. It's about a 1/10 of a second faster.
And you just see these cars sliding around more and more. And you look at how precise, the 2 leaders are with hitting their marks and doing everything correctly. And if you just go a little bit too far, you have some issues. Look at this here.
That's not what AJ wants to see. Daniel Hemrick into John Hunter Nemechek.
Looks like he's going to be able to get it turned around. If he doesn't get stuck in the rocks here, which I think he's going to be okay.
John Hunter was running 6th when this happened. Battle for 6th.
And he was trying to finish in the top 10 again. He's done it every race so far this year.
Yeah, don't look back, but that's Sheldon Creed intent. He has been driving through the field from the spin here. We saw just a little bit with the contact with AJ Allmendinger. Fell into the 20s, and now he's going to try to take this spot for 9th.
And if John Hunter Nemechek didn't have rear grip before, he definitely doesn't have it now. Look at him getting loose after spitting out and all that smoke off the rear tires. That's just life off the tire.
The 11 car pushing and shoving in turn 11.
Sheldon able to get by. Maybe not.
How many times have we said that today?
Maybe not.
Well, in fairness to John Hunter Nemechek, I'm sure he's not very happy with what just happened there. So, you get pushed
Sheldon
around.
Sheldon didn't do it.
Yeah.
Sheldon got dumped earlier, too.
Yes.
Hey, man, it's not my fault.
Sometimes you just need to take that hanger out on somebody.
Hey, you know what? For Hemrick, I mean, aggressive or not, he puts himself in a position now to get his 4th consecutive top 10. I will say, though, if he had brought out the caution with that move, his teammate who's leading would have been very happy.
We got this year with Ryan Siege.
Yeah, with the 39 going slow and something else that could produce a caution. Huh?
See what happened here with the 39. Oh, gets wide here in the carousel.
Okay, there you go. So no mechanical issues, just off the pace after the spin. He rights the ship.
Well, 360.
And we stay green. I would put it on my highlight reel. I'm not sure Ryan Sieg will, actually.
It's an easy place to get in trouble. And that just goes to show you why we keep talking about these leaders so much. It's just one mistake away. One little bobble here, and you can really find yourself in trouble. And one of the things I've noticed about AJ, especially that last lap, the exit off in turn 2, he got really sideways there. So he's not got an easy driving car here.
Yeah, and this is where, like, if there is anything left in the tank, if you're William Byron, you got to throw it to it now. This is where, like, maybe I can get in the corner a little bit harder. You're willing to take the risk because right now you're just going to finish 2nd. So maybe you can send it in there a little bit harder. Maybe you lose a 2nd to AJ. Oh, well, right? Like, you're already back there. You need to try to find a little bit more. It doesn't matter how much you get beat by, right? So you might as well keep going a little bit harder, trying to get to that edge, which you might already be doing, I'm sure.
Well, you know what? Just watch the delta, because that margin is fluctuating, which would make you think that maybe he's pushing it. Occasionally it works, occasionally it doesn't. But it's a bit of a yo-yo going back and forth, the difference between 1st and 2nd here.
I mean, he's right there, right? I mean, it just...
Ooh, AJ got a little loose again off of 20. But even when AJ gets loose, this is a testament to how good a road course racer is. He doesn't give up a lot of time. This last lap here, these 2 drivers were within 2 or 3 tenths.
He's done such a good job at applying pressure to AJ that William has. He's staying right there, and if he can get a little bit closer, he can apply a little bit more pressure and get him to make a mistake. That's what William Byron's hoping for. And he's hoping that from one of the best, if not the best road racer we've seen in the sport. And that's asking a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to do that very easily, but if you can apply that pressure and get him driving a little bit harder too, that could be the difference for him.
And with 2 laps to go, if you're AJ, you want to maintain the advantage as John Hunter Nemechek is coming down pit road. You want to maintain the advantage of your AJ, but you also want to get back to that white flag and not have a caution and a restart and all that to deal with here It would be overtime, obviously, at this point.
Yeah, an overtime restart with the restart turn 1 that we've seen so far. I don't think anybody in the field really wants to see that. We might, but I don't think anyone in the field does.
AJ does not.
Nemechek had a flat tire. That's why he came down pit road. And something else to think about, this is a Dash for Cash qualifier. So top 4 series regulars here today running for $100,000 next Saturday in Richmond. And right now it would be Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick, and Josh Berry, the eligible drivers going for the bonus in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Guys, this is about to get good. William is there. He is able to close the gap to him.
He made 2 or 3 tenths this lap.
3.
And look at, there's a smoke coming off AJ's car. He's trying a little bit harder now too. So this is where you're coming to 1 to go. They are getting it all right now, and it is going to be close.
Boy, Byron is hustling that thing.
I love these onboards. Great shot of how hard the drivers are working.
Up to 5.
Turn 19 up to turn 20.
You know, what I see out of the 17, which we've seen all day long, his strength is down into the S's, especially the slower part of the S's.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go at COTA, sponsored by Credit One Bank. A.J. Allmendinger is leading William Byron the advantage under a second.
Yeah, William's going to try to stay close here. Absolutely. If he can get through these S's and try to get him into turn 11, I think might be a good opportunity for him. If not, the stadium section is also fast for William. Oh, he got loose.
Gets real loose there.
And that might have been all he needed.
17 missed the corner. 17 missed the corner. Nice and easy and braking.
And that's what you want to hear from your driver and your crew chief. Hey, we got space. We're okay. Make the most of it.
Nerve still there for Whitera.
Yeah, that really gave AJ a big gap. The pressure was on there, and William made 1 mistake.
Just pushing it, just like you said, Joe. He's pushing it really hard in an area where you knew he could, that the S is there.
Through turn 11 for the final time. Now they make that long run, high speed down to turn 12.
While this is going on, Sam Mayer just got by Josh Berry for the 7th spot.
See William just getting everything he can right now, right? He's trying to get through the stadium section here. Maybe he can force him into 1 more mistake. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. It's looking really good for AJ.
AJ Allmendinger started on pole. He's led a ton of laps. Got involved in an incident on a restart and had to come from behind. He's managed it quite nicely.
And these two have been the show of the day. 3rd place is so far back, over 12 seconds back. That just goes to show you how these two are the dominant cars of the day.
Turn 19 up to turn 20. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger. The dinger is a ringer on the road. A.J. gonna go back-to-back and win again at Circuit of the Americas.
Let's go! Job, man. Hell of a job. Nice work all day.
16th career win for A.J. Allmendinger.
Hell yeah! Let's go!
One thing I love about AJ, maybe what I love the most about AJ, is his emotions and energy that he brings to the table.
Oh, yeah.
Real raw emotion. Watch when he gets out of the car, how excited he is. Don't forget, he
got
is
it right
the
coming
favorite.
checkered here. Jeff Burton here. So race is finishing in the back half of the field.
And maybe a moment of what might have been for William Byron.
You see, he's getting into the S's quick. He's got some dirty air in front of him. He's a little bit off of where he wants to be. Loose there, transfers the weight big time, loose again to the next S. Once you get the first one off, Brad, you're along for the ride on that.
For A.J. Allmendinger, it's his 11th career win on a road course. That's the most all-time by 6. And he's now won 6 of the last 8. And the dominance for Chevrolet on road courses continues in the Xfinity Series.
What I was saying about AJ is that his emotion, but he's the favorite. He's expected to win. You know, he should get out and be cool about it, you know. No, he is that excited. He had to work for this one, and he should be stoked about it. He earned it.
This was not a gimme race for AJ. You're absolutely right. He's got a lot of great experience in road course racing. He put it to work here today.
And he and Sheldon Creed had their moment. There's a look at Sheldon, who got back to 9th.
He might not give him the congratulatory wave.
I don't think Sheldon cares one bit about AJ having to fight the battles he had to fight today.
But there is an alliance with Colleague and RCR, so their paths will cross at some point in the near future. I mentioned the Dash for Cash qualifier, so here officially are the drivers that will go to Richmond looking for $100,000. Sam Mayer, nice comeback. He won the $100 grand at Richmond a season ago. Daniel Hemrick, Justin Allgaier, and Sammy Smith, 2 teenagers on the board. If you're a high school senior living alone, how do you spend $100,000? That could be the question that Sammy Smith has to answer.
I don't think that'll be a problem for him to spend.
Let me tell you, his dad Kurt is here today, made the flight down from Iowa because the family still lives in Iowa. I'm sure he will help his young son make responsible decisions if he gets the payout next week. This is the 20th win for Colleague in the Xfinity Series, and the 9th time they've done it on a road course.
I love that we just heard him yelling over the car. Oh, that's a lot on the chip there at that point.
AJ, a tremendous road racer, incredible at COTA. Second 2 years ago, and now he's won in back-to-back seasons. Celebrate good times, A.J. Allmendinger.
You little bastard! Good job, buddy. Let's go! You little devil! How'd you get my back?
Here's Chris Rice.
You know how much? God almighty, stud!
Let's go to Josh Sims.
A.J. Allmendinger celebrating another road course victory. A.J., you start the race strong. You suffer that damage off the restart in the middle part of the race. What did it take to get back and hold off William Byron to get that victory?
Well, William Byron might be one of the best ones in the sport right now. We've seen all the Cup races he's winning. I knew it was going to be tough. Just trying to fight to get back up to the front there. Hey, we had contact with Sheldon. I got under him, and I was there. I felt like he turned. I was trying to stay off him, but so I hate that happened. But so proud of everybody at Colleague Racing. The Celsius Chevy was really hooked up. We had, with all the damage we had, it definitely hurt the car. But man, I'm out of breath. I'm too old for this, Josh.
You talk about going into this race, the pressure that's always on you, because you're expected to win these races. Does this get old, or is it more relief for you after?
Heck no, it's I spent a lot of years not winning anything, so I'm going to celebrate everyone like it's my last one. You never know, but as much pressure as I put on myself, I'm always going to try to live up to it. And we fought hard. This is such a team effort. Pit crew was awesome. Just so proud of everybody. I'm just so lucky to be a part of this Colleague Racing team.
Congratulations.
Thanks to Xfinity, everybody at ECR and Chevy, Colleague Racing, Nutrien Ag, all of our partners, Sparco, Arai Helmets, Corby Concepts put a sweet paint job on the thing that's brand new. Action Industries, everybody at the shop, all the men and women, thank you for believing in me and giving me this opportunity every week. Love you guys.
Congrats, AJ.
Well, William Byron gave it everything that he had on that last lap. Looked like when you got to the S's, maybe you were going to have a shot to catch up. Just step over the grip level a little bit there.
Yeah, I just
I just messed that S's up. I was getting one final run at them. Obviously, they were really good all day. AJ's great at these road courses, and I still have just a little bit to gain and minimize some mistakes. But, yeah, overall, just got through the S's there, and I didn't want to get off and screw up second place, so I slowed way down to keep it within the track. So, yeah, thanks to HendrickCars.com, Chevrolet. It was a great effort. Just need to clean it up in these cars. The downshifting and just the rev match and all that, I needed to get back used to that, you know, different than the Cup cars. So just need to do a better job there, but really had a lot of fun racing them. And a couple times I probably had a shot and just needed to do a little better job. So part of it, and hopefully we'll get them tomorrow.
Thanks, William.
Three biggest names doing double duty today: A.J. Allmendinger, William Byron, Ty Gibbs. They finish 1, 2, 3. Your final thoughts on today's race?
Oh, so much excitement. There was a lot of action this whole race. This track really fits the bill for these types of cars. Very physical, yes, but I love how you're able to have so much passing and great battles throughout the field all race long, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. The track did what we hoped it would do. It put on a great race, good natural race, right? They didn't have any cautions. We didn't have anything, you know, crazy that messed up the race that we saw up front, right? The battle that the two of the best in the sport are going at it on a road course all the way to the final lap. That's what you want as a race fan. Us sitting up here, we want to see a great race. That's what we got today.
And William Byron starting on the pole tomorrow. Are we going to run it back? I'm guessing we'll see.
I hope not.
Well, I understand, but they're going to be players again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. These two tomorrow just got a nice warm-up event, and man, they really showed their talents. These are two great road racers and a great racing throughout the field. I'll give all the field credit for that.
Race day comes your way tomorrow. We're with you next Saturday from Richmond, noon Eastern time. 1 o'clock is when we begin our race coverage from the Commonwealth. Here's what happens tomorrow, 2 o'clock for race day on FS1 over to Fox at 3. We can't wait for the Cup Series first road course race of the year. Today was a dandy. And when it was all said and done, no big surprise. A.J. Allmendinger able to win it again. Thank you for joining us. For Coleman Presley on the spotter stand, Josh Sims, Regan Smith on pit road. With Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, I'm Adam Alexander. Now let's go to the lanes for PBA.